It's time for Dodger baseball.
The Brooklyn Dodgers speed merchant doesn't stop running till he flies into second with a double.
The Los Angeles Dodgers have just about done the impossible.
It's strike three. Dodgers have won it all in 2020. That ball's hit well. Left center field. It is gone. Mookie Betts a home run. Some much-needed insurance.
73 degrees, clear, sunny skies. Where else would you rather be than here at Dodger Stadium, where tonight, fresh off their 5th shutout win of the season, the Dodgers go for a mini-series sweep over the Angels. Tyler Anderson will try to join Tony Gonsolin in the 8-0 club coming up right here in 30 minutes. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers. I'm John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garciaparra. Jerry, last night we saw it with Tony Gonsolin. Tonight, Tyler Anderson try to go 8-0.
You know, two guys that have thrown the ball exceptionally well to start this season. Last night you mentioned Tony Gonsolin. Now we got T.A., left-handed fireballer. He throws that cutter on 92, 93, but he loves that combo. Outstanding matchup between him and this Angels that could swing the bat.
Yeah, you know, we've seen both of these guys. Well, we've seen Tyler Anderson seem to piggyback Tony Gonsolin. And then when you see that performance by Tony Gonsolin, TA usually has followed it up as well, you know. Only his last start where maybe had a hiccup. But like I was talking earlier, I'm not too worried because TA understands himself. And he's also takes notes. He sees with Tony Gonsolin what he was doing the day before, how he's effective, why he's effective. He goes out there and has to execute.
All right, let's get right to the Dodgers starting lineup to go against Angels left-hander Reid Detmers tonight. You have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Trey Turner at the top. Will Smith is in the cleanup spot. Max Muncy will play third base with Justin Turner in the DH role. Cody Bellinger is in center. Chris Taylor's in left. And Gavin Lux at second base. Jerry batting ninth. What do you think?
I'm looking at Mookie Betts right there, leading off in right field, the best defensive right fielder in the game of baseball. Also the best leadoff hitter, in my opinion, in all of baseball. Big home run last night.
You know, I'm looking at the middle part of that lineup. Will Smith and Max Muncy, they were kind of flip-flopped yesterday's game as well, I think, because righty-lefty, we're going to see that. But I'd really like to see those guys just getting a little bit hot. And I know they like to feel the same way, but it's coming. I know that. I can see that in their swings.
Well, Freddie Freeman, he has started every game this season for the Dodgers, hitting a very respectable 286, but he was telling Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic he just hasn't gotten hot yet this year. So on Monday, when the Dodgers were off, Nomar, he drove down to Irvine and had his dad pitch to him. So he's taking some batting practice down there. Both of you guys had your dads very much involved with your baseball from an early age. So, Nomar, what did you think when you hear that he's down there in Irvine having his dad pitch him? Because I imagine both of you guys would say, who knows you better and who knows your swing better than your dad?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think we probably have all experienced that over our career. Like, Dad, can you come meet me in the cage, or being able to go out there and throw to you as well, without a doubt. And this is no insult to the hitting coaches by any means. No, the coaches that you have, they're giving you their information, and then they're trying to figure out how you translate that information. But there's one person that probably knows you better than anybody, whether it's your dad, maybe it's a younger coach, uncle, whoever it is that taught you coming up. That is so vital. I remember for me, my father, he would know what was going wrong with me without even seeing me. When I was in college, he couldn't see any of our games, and I was telling him I'm struggling over the phone. And he would ask, well, where's the ball going? What's happening? And I would tell him, he's like, okay, do this, this, and this. And next thing you know, 4 for 4 the next day, and I'm out of it. So they know you that well.
Yeah, there's nobody like that, especially like your dad who has a baseball background, Freddie as well, and then my father as well. There's nothing like your dad because he's seen you swing the bat since you came out of the crib. So again, no knock on the hitting coaches. And the hitting coaches, they don't care. They just want their players to produce. If you need dad to look at you, your swing, and then sometimes it may not be a mechanical thing. It could be a thought process that your dad understands you very well and can trigger something. So I applaud Freddie Freeman going down to daddy and helping her. Hey, we've all done it. My dad will always say, hey, listen, he look at me, bro, you need to change your angle. Sometimes I was too deep in the box. I need to scoot up in the box to keep the balls fair. Change your angles. Those little things that dad can see that you can't see.
And you know what? If I'm a coach, I'm asking their dad. I'm telling them, like, so what do you tell them? What do you see? What do you tell them? So then I'm able to give them the same message. Because then next thing you know, they're finding confidence, like, oh, okay, you're on the same page. You understand it. Now I'm getting the same message and delivery when there are times where you're struggling again.
I'm training my son right now. He's 16 years old. You guys saw him yesterday, and he kind of rolled his eyes. And I get it. At 16, you're going to be sick of dad. But I remember being at 16 years old, kind of rolling my eyes at dad. But I'll be in the batter's box in the big leagues. I step out, and I remember my dad saying that 10, 15 years ago, and it clicks in the big leagues. So there's nobody like dad who knows your swing.
And that's certainly a hurdle you have to get over, because a lot of the kids, oh, what does dad know? What does dad know? The last person they want to hear from is dad, because he's disciplining him all the time anyway. But certainly a good guy to listen to
He knows.
in terms of baseball. Let's see what Tyler Anderson is up against tonight in the Angels lineup. After Taylor Ward at the top, it's Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. You have Matt Duffy playing third base and batting fourth because Anthony Rendon re-aggravated his wrist injury last night. Jared Walsh, Juan Lagares, Kurt Suzuki behind the plate, Luis Rengifo, and then Andrew Velasquez. The Angels only had 3 hits last night. All 3 came from the dynamic duo of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and none of them left the ballpark. Jerry, when you're facing the Angels, you don't want Trout and Ohtani to beat you, but then it becomes critical that you have to get everybody else out that's around them.
It's so critical, especially with Taylor Ward right there. He's having a great season. Really good season, 324, 10 bombs out of the leadoff spot. So that's job one. You got to make sure you keep him off the bases, and obviously we know what Mike Trout and Ohtani can do. But again, you get those 2 guys out. No disrespect to those guys. These are all big league hitters. I know I wasn't the star, but again, you got to take care of those 2 guys.
No, you're right. I mean, that way, when you're facing a guy like Mike Trout, you're like, how do I pitch to this guy? You know, and you're not necessarily here give you a free pass. You're just going to walk him. You're going to go out there and you want to challenge him. Well, you may go off the plate, see if he chases, but you want to see if he can minimize the damage, because he's going to get his hits. It's freaking Mike Trout. Shohei Ohtani, same thing. These guys are going to get theirs. That's right. But you get to decide as a pitcher how much damage they get to do against you.
All right, well, the Dodgers are going for the mini 2-game sweep of the Angels, but before they do, we have Dodgers general manager Brandon Gomes. He's joining us live right now from the dugout. Brandon, thank you so much for taking time to be with us. It's John, Jerry, and Nomar here. Last night we saw Tony Gonsolin improve to 8-0 on the season. Tonight, Tyler Anderson has a chance to join Tony at 8-0. What has stood out to you about the way both of those guys have been able to throw the baseball this season?
Both of them have executed multiple pitches at any time in the count. So I think their ability to make the hitter cover back to front, east to west, and stay unpredictable in how they're attacking each guy, I think has really stood out.
Brandon, what's going on? This is Jerry Hairston Jr. We're sitting here now mid-June. The trade deadline is August 2nd. I know from now to then you're going to get a plethora of questions. Do the calls start coming in around this time, or are you the aggressor seeing what you can do to better your ball club?
I think right now we're kind of in, information gather mode, having conversations, addressing and evaluating what we have on the field right now and what's coming, whether it's guys coming off the IL or up from the minor leagues. So a lot of it right now is starting to dive into what we think we have right now and what position do we think we'll be in to go for another World Series run.
Hey, Brandon, this is Nomar. And just kind of a follow-up, as Jerry was mentioning, about that trade and what you're looking at. But also, this is kind of a unique year, too, because you also have the amateur draft, which I'm sure you're also involved with as well. I'm wondering, what is more time-consuming with that amateur draft, only like 2 weeks separating both the draft and then the trade deadline, and how are you able to balance those two coming up?
Yeah, July is going to be a fun month. I think you balance it by just not sleeping a whole lot and consuming a ton of coffee. But it's great. The amateur draft is such an enjoyable time to start diving into, guys and trying to figure out who's going to be available around your pick and, how the different strategy that goes into it. And then that, we'll take a couple-day breather and then turn right back around and look into the trade deadline and starting to have those conversations. So it's a great time of year, a lot of excitement, on multiple levels. So we're really looking forward to it.
Brandon, Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic wrote a really good story about Yency Almonte today, and in there he talked about how Jake McGee of the Giants actually called Almonte because they were teammates with the Rockies a few years ago, but he called him after Almonte was released by the Rockies, and he recommended that he sign with the Dodgers. What does it say about what all of you guys are doing here with this organization that a pitcher from a rival team may call other guys around the league and say, hey, you should go to the Dodgers?
Yeah, it speaks to Mark and Connor and Bardo and BMAC, just the great culture and environment that they've created, and taking each guy's strengths and figuring out some of the untapped potential and bringing it to them in an effective and clear manner so that the players can go out and execute it. So it speaks to a great group of pitching guys that we have and performance coaches and medical staff. So it's a really cool compliment.
Brandon, you signed Freddie Freeman in the offseason. You trade for Trey Turner, Max Scherzer at the deadline last year. But will you talk about also your farm system and how proud you are and what you guys have done over the years developing young talent?
Yeah, I think that's the lifeline of our organization, where we have the good fortune to be able to supplement with really high-end free agents, but a lot of our guys are homegrown, and that's always going to be the basis of what we do. Our player development staff and systems scouting, the synergies and the collaboration is elite. So it's something we take a great amount of pride in, and it's really cool to kind of continue to see those guys come up and contribute.
Speaking of those guys down there and that you guys are building up as well, we know some of the big names, those prospects, the Bobby Millers. We've already seen Pepio. We've seen Grove. There's like Landon Mack. But there's anybody else down in the minors that may have been surprising so far this year that you said, hey, maybe impactful, maybe this year or maybe as soon as next year?
Gavin Stone is another pitcher that's really performing well. He's a guy that we took in the fifth round of the 2020 draft. Tremendous athlete, has a bunch of pitches to go right after guys. So we're excited about how he's performing, and I think that's another guy to be mindful of moving forward.
Brandon, tonight is game 62 of 162. You guys are currently tied with the Padres for first place. In assessing how your team has played up to this point, I know there are always peaks and valleys, and offenses are going to get hot. They're going to be cold for a while. But is there one area of the team that you would like to see some improvement going forward in the next 100 games?
I think we've played good baseball up to this point. I don't think we've played our best baseball by any means, and I think the focus and continuing to hammer home team baseball, fundamentals, team at-bats, passing the baton, I think we've done a great job of that majority of the year, and keeping that as our focus throughout the year. And on the pitching side, strike one and stay in attack mode. Those are, foundational pieces of what has made us successful. I think continuing down that path, we're gonna be in a good place.
Brandon Gomes, Dodgers general manager. Thank you so much, Brandon, for taking time to be with us. You guys have done, once again, another great job putting the roster together, piecing things together through all the injuries, and the Dodgers are in first place right now. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, still more to come here from Dodger Stadium. Tyler Anderson looks to join Tony Gonsolin as the National League's only 8-game winners. It's the Dodgers and the Angels coming up. We'll check in with Joe and Oral for a game preview coming up.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning every night on MLB.tv.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record. It is caught! Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Mike Trout of the Angels, he will be batting second tonight in their lineup. Last night had a single and a walk, but no damage done. Tyler Anderson will try to keep that three-time AL MVP in check tonight. Now, last night we saw Tony Gonsolin improve to 8-0 on the season. He did all the heavy lifting, he and the rest of the Dodgers bullpen, in a 2-0 shutout win. Tonight it'll be Tyler Anderson trying to establish a new career high as he goes for his 8th win. Right now, let's check in with Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser upstairs in the booth with a preview. Hi there, Joe.
Hi, John. And, of course, Tyler Anderson was rocking and rolling, coming for you. He had 28 straight scoreless innings. But this is what he looks at as a bounce-back outing. He got touched up a little bit in Chicago last time.
He sure did. And you know what? When you talk to a guy about getting touched up, it's usually not about stuff. It's about location. And it was a changeup that he wasn't getting the swing and miss with. It had a little bit too much altitude. And really, it does come down to execution and location. He needs to do that here tonight, especially against the first 3 hitters. The bottom of this Angel lineup is not real strong.
As far as the offense goes, they got a win last night, but still just 2 runs, and so that's 6 over the last 4 games, trying to get things cranked up offensively.
Yeah, against Detmers, that's a guy that you really should be able to get healthy offensively. His stats play out at 2-2 and ERA over 4. He does have the no-hitter. That was a game that he put it together, but the Dodgers need to do better with runners in scoring position, and not just the big hit. They could just score some runs with outs, with the productive outs. That would be great. Put the ball in play when you need to the right side. Get a guy in from third with less than 2 outs and start tacking on some runs.
All right, guys, Dodgers going for a quick 2-game sweep here to open up this homestand.
All right, Joe and Oral, we'll see you guys in a little over 10 minutes. Thank you very much. There's always plenty going on here at Dodgers Stadium before the game. Tonight is Japanese Heritage Night with some special on-field activities. They'll be coming up before first pitch in about 10 minutes. Plus, who has the second highest batting average in the National League here in June? If you guessed Gavin Lux, yes, you are correct. Up next, he's talking one-on-one with Kirsten.
To the track, to the wall, and he made the catch.
Catch your team.
Oh, what a play.
My team.
He leaps and makes the catch.
Every team.
As good as it gets.
Only on MLB Network.
It is gone.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup,
Swing and a miss.
or runs one down.
He caught it. Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Looking ahead on the calendar, it's an off day tomorrow before the Dodgers welcome the Cleveland Guardians to town. Saturday is Sandy Koufax Day here at the Ravine. His statue will be unveiled in the center field plaza, and the giveaway that night is a statue replica. Next week, the Dodgers hit the road again, a 9-game trip with the first of 3 in Cincinnati on Tuesday. Well, Gavin Lux swinging one of the Dodgers' hottest bats of late. He's hitting .400 here in the month of June. And right now, he is our Dodgers voice, brought to you by Morongo Casino, Resort, and Spa.
All right, Gavin, when we were in Chicago, you had mentioned to us that after one of your big performances at the plate, you spoke to your uncle. He gave you some good advice of just being aggressive, but also, like you mentioned, keeping it simple. How are you seeing that continue to play out for you while you're in the middle of your at-bats and really staying focused there?
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like mental peace. You know, like once everything's simplified and you go through your cage work every day and try to lock that in, and then once the game starts, it's really just trying to see the ball and hit the ball, kind of old school stuff, but I think it's cliche for a reason because it works, and you know, just simplifying everything and just kind of giving yourself mental freedom to just kind of go hit once the game starts. It's pretty nice.
When you look at the results you're getting this year, being an everyday player, I mean, how much different does it feel compared to last year and kind of the man that you are, the baseball player that you are? You know, do you find peace in kind of what you're doing out there every day?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm not chasing my tail as much and worrying so much about if I don't perform today, you know, I might not be playing tomorrow. So I think there's just kind of, like you said, that peace of mind where I can go 0 for 4, make an error, and then, you know, maybe screw some things up here and there, and still have that mental peace knowing that I'll be back out there the next day, and just trying to take advantage of that and keep working hard every day, because then, you know, that opportunity is not a given. So, but yeah, I think just that mental peace helps for sure.
There are 6 MVPs in this series alone, which is insane. The first time since 1982 in a series they've had that many. What is it like for you when you kind of take a look at everything and you're just, not only are there 4 of them on your team that are your teammates, but when you look at the other side and you see 2 of them with Ohtani and Mike Trout, I mean, how insane is that?
Yeah, I mean, you could argue Trout's one of the best players ever too, and Kersh, and obviously Mookie. For all these guys are really good, obviously Hall of Fame players, so it's cool to be able to compete with them, and obviously the guys on the team get to learn from them every day. But yeah, just getting to compete and see where you stack up, it's always fun. And obviously the Freeway Series, these guys are right down the road. I think it's cool for fans too to be able to see that, and we don't get to play them that much, so I think it's kind of a cool little rivalry, and I think everybody enjoys it.
So today everyone's wearing their All-Star shirt. Well, everyone except for you is wearing their All-Star shirts with the QR code on the back. So if you do vote, or if you have your choice to vote, who are your All-Stars for the team?
I'm voting everybody that plays for the Dodgers in. Come on, my opinion might be a little biased, but I'm going everybody who starts on the Dodgers. So, but Tony Gonsolin right now, I think if he keeps this pace, he's got to be the starter and starting pitcher in the All-Star game. And obviously with it being here, Tony's cruising. I mean, he's got like a 1.4, and I feel like he leads the NL in every single category. So he's been really fun to watch.
It's incredible, honestly. And I mean, I don't know, it's kind of fun. I saw some cats around Dodger Stadium yesterday. They weren't real, but there were quite a few. And I feel like that might be a thing continuing here as the cat man continues to take over.
Yeah, since 2019 when he came up, he's had that. That's kind of been his thing. I mean, you saw the cleats last year with the fur on the top. A little ridiculous, if you ask me, but that's his thing. And, you know, the Catter Day stuff, all that stuff, that's his gig. So you got to respect it. He has fun doing it. That's his thing. You can't argue when he's got a 1.4.
I love it. All right, Gavin, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Gavin Lux is having his best offensive season as a big leaguer, Nomar. He's second on the team in batting average. He's second on the team in OPS. Yet you look at him, he's batting in the 9th spot in the order. But what do you like about having Gavin there at the bottom of the order?
1, he looks comfortable. 2, he looks confident. 3, he's having success down there, so don't change him. Leave him there for whatever the reason. I'm down there at the bottom part of the lineup. Some guys, sometimes you're going, okay, listen, down here, maybe less at bats, but at the same time, going back home like, hey, I got that 1, I'm 1 for 3. You know, he's finding a way else to get on. Even down there, he's contributing. And it's also okay when you mention those numbers to be down there because of the type of the lineup that the Dodgers have on top. You want guys at the bottom part of their lineup getting on base. So those guys, and especially like a guy who can drive and run like Mookie Betts, that is huge and critical. So leave him there. He looks confident. He looks comfortable. And keep doing what you're doing because he looks great.
I completely agree. Now with no National League pitcher hitting, He's not hitting 8th. And we know how hard hitting 8th is, having the pitcher behind you. Now he's hitting 9th and having Mookie Betts right behind him. So he's getting pitches to hit, and Gavin Lux is taking advantage of it. So leave him there. He's comfortable. He's productive. And he has somebody like Mookie Betts we just talked about. Somebody's on base for Mookie Betts, which is so important.
You know, he was listening to his interview. He's talking about a routine that he's getting into. It sounds like he has one that he believes in. It's working for him. Where you hit in the lineup on a consistent basis also affects that routine and that rhythm of the game. So I wouldn't want to change that for him.
An important part of his success, and Gavin Lux having somewhat of a breakout season here in 2022 for the Dodgers, albeit batting 9th. Still more to come as we get closer to first pitch. Reid Detmers getting the start tonight for the Angels. You may not remember, maybe you do, but he threw a no-hitter earlier this season. It was just last month in his 11th career start. Nomar and Jerry going to call their shot next.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
A permanent piece of Dodger Stadium history. The Sandy Koufax statue will be unveiled at 11:30 Saturday morning, and we'll bring it to you live here on Sportsnet LA. It's a day to celebrate one of the game's greatest pitchers, and for that night's game, the giveaway is a replica of the Koufax statue. All right, it is time for some shot calling. Jerry, you are first up on the tee. Who you got tonight?
You know, I'm looking for a guy to really start squaring the ball. I'm going with the Red Dream. I think he has a huge night tonight.
That's awesome. There's a guy that I think is actually going to go deep today. You mentioned you called him yesterday, but he's doing it today. Chris Taylor is going deep.
All right, the Dodgers going for the mini two-game sweep over the Angels. Let's set it upstairs. Joe and Oral, take it away. We'll be right here after the game.
All right, John, maybe a change of scenery, just what the doctor ordered. Off of the road, home here to Dodger Stadium, where they take the opener of the homestand last night 2-0, and now go for a two-game sweep over the Angels in the first half of the Freeway Series this season. Welcome inside, Joe Davis, or Hershiser. Kirsten Watson joins us in a moment. 2-0 win last night, keyed by the pitching. It was again Tony Gonsolin, 6 1/3, and 3 relievers finished the job.
5th shutout of the year for the Dodgers. Caused a little bit of momentum, but I think the offense still needs some momentum to get started tonight.
So as far as the pitching goes, Gonsolin came into the game 7-0. He moved to 8-0 on the season. His ERA down to 1.42 for the year, which leads baseball.
This pitching has been outstanding, and he's hard with Tony Gonsolin. You're going to get another good one again tonight that a guy has been on the game. And the bullpen came through right behind Tony the Tiger. First time he's gone in there and gotten an out in the 7th, but then when he handed it over, it got a little dicey at the end, but Craig Kimbrell with a nice last ball away, nice low on the corner, buttoned it up.
And Tyler Anderson will try and continue with the pitching did last night. He's tied for second in the National League with those 7 wins.
Trying to tie Tony to get up to number 8. Going to respond to a little bit of a tough outing. Kind of the changeup had some altitude to it. He's going to have a little better location to get back on that roll that he was on before.
Let's check in with Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. We'll look for Tyler Anderson. Not only is he looking to bounce back, but carry over that momentum from what we saw from Julio Urias to start as well as Tony Gonsolin start yesterday. They both were sharp, they were effective, and Tyler is going to want to do that same. Since he has came here, Dave Roberts said that he is truly the real deal. He was intentional about choosing to join the Dodgers, and with that, he's working closely with the pitching staff, all those guys, allowing him to get that sharpness and that bite to some of those pitches, guys.
All right, Kirsten, so Anderson for the Dodgers, Reid Detmers, a rookie for the Angels, who in his 11th start in the majors pitched a no-hitter back on May 10th.
15 games, what a thrill this no-hitter was. It's a guy who doesn't strike out a lot of guys, so look at that K there. The Dodgers tonight probably going to be able to put the ball in play, find some holes against a guy who had quite a thrill that night.
Dodgers going for the 2-game sweep in the second game of the 4 games in the Freeway Series here in 2022. We've got first pitch on another gorgeous night in Southern California coming up on Sportsnet LA.
Every game, every night, everything you need to see. Get all the highlights with the fastest hour on television. Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record. It is caught! Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Yeah, contact is king in those situations. Execution, obviously, is king. We have the talent, obviously. Continue trying to execute. When you execute, this offense scores a lot of runs.
Be nice to see the Dodgers put up a crooked number tonight. Tyler Anderson's gotten a lot of good run support throughout the season. Hopefully that continues tonight as TA tries to become the second 8-0 National League pitcher, joining his teammate Tony Gonsolin.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Sink your teeth into the new Primal menu and Beyond Raptor at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Star-studded series, Dodgers and Angels. 6 former MVPs involved in this series, and a couple of them right there. The leadoff man for the Dodgers, Mookie Betts. The 3-time MVP for the Angels, Mike Trout. Here comes Tyler Anderson. He's been fantastic in this ballpark this season. And tries to get back on the beam after a bit of a bump in the road in Chicago last week. How about the lineup that he'll face off with from the manager, Phil Nevin? Taylor Ward leads off, and then it is Trout and Ohtani. Back-to-back MVPs hitting 2 and 3. Matt Duffy's the third baseman. He bats cleanup. Anthony Rendon left last night's game with a re-aggravation of that wrist injury. At first base, an all-star in 2021, Jared Walsh. Juan Lagares in left field hitting 6th. And then the veteran catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Middle infielders, Rengifo and Velasquez hitting 8th and 9th. The Audi player profile looks at Tyler Anderson, who is in his first season with the Dodgers, 32 years old at Las Vegas, and what a season he's putting together.
He sure is. You know, the changeup is the elite pitch. The hard stuff is getting it done against big league hitters, but the changeup is how they are off. The hard stuff comes in about 2/3 of the time, and that's between the cutter, the 4-seamer, and the 2-seamer. But the changeup, that third of a time, the league just hitting barely over 100 off of that.
By pitch values, one of the best pitches in baseball. Not just one of the best changeups, one of the best individual pitches. It's pitch that he started to develop a new grip on during spring, and it's dropping 5 inches more than last year.
And the depth of his changeup, and that's a big adjustment from the last outing because it was a little higher. And of course, when you throw something higher in the strike zone or even just up and out of your hand, it doesn't get the same spin and action as you get when you get it below the waist and especially down by the knees. So looking for that here tonight against these Angels.
As he tries to do what Tony Gonsolin did last night, 6 1/3 shutout innings for Tony to move to 8-0 on the season. Anderson trying to get to 8-0 himself. Who would have thought coming into the year when these two guys that formed basically in tandem, the 5th starter in the rotation,
They'd be dueling with 7-0 records coming here into mid-June. Gonsolin getting his 8th last night. Anderson tries to do the same here.
Early on in the season, when you had those guys at the top, you're like, you hope this can continue so the other guys get healthy. Well, it has continued, and they have carried the staff.
Dodgers trying to start this homestand with a 2-game sweep of the Angels. Angels have dropped 17 of their last 19 games to go from 10 games over 500 to 5 games under, and 9.5 back of the Astros in the division. Off we go with a fastball strike on Taylor Ward. Ward came back last night after missing 10 days with a hamstring injury. And last night, the Angels, for the first time in a long time, were somewhat whole. But then Rendon, as mentioned, aggravates the wrist. There's the changeup, quickly 0-2. So the Angels again shorthanded.
2 exceptionally located pitches right there. One the fastball, one the changeup.
Now on an 0-2, misses high with a heater.
These Angels have been banged up a lot of the year, and they were just starting to get healthy and maybe could turn around from their long slump.
On a 1-2 pitch, Ward digs it out, short right center. Betts coming on. So is Bellinger. They collide. The ball pops out. Ward's headed for second, and he's dead to rights there. Tagged by Trey Turner. Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger both with smiles on their faces. Thankfully, you immediately see that. No harm, no foul, no base runner.
Well, the center fielder is the captain, but this ball is really over there in right field, and probably Mookie thinks, I don't really need to worry about Cody. Mookie holds his right hand up like, I got this, but the communication was a little lacking, and he knew there was going to be some impact there. By the letter of the law, you're supposed to be able to remove the ball cleanly from your glove. It looked like right there at the big league level, that was a catch. But they recorded the out at second.
No big deal unless Tyler Anderson has a no-hitter going deep into this game. Here's Trout, and there is ball 1. Trout had an 0 for 26 slide. He's followed that by going 8 for 15 with 3 home runs. On a 1-0 from Anderson, he takes a little bit high, ball 2. Got to figure, as a pitcher, you come in and you see a guy like Mike Trout 0 for his last forever. It's a little bit of an uneasy feeling.
It sure is. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime slump, and he's going to come out of it soon.
A strike, and it's 3-1.
Got a little width there. Usually Mike Trout just trotting down to first base after that pitch, but he didn't get the call.
On a 3-1, Trout takes ball 4, and as he did in the first inning last night, he's on with a walk. Brings up Shohei Ohtani in time for Home Depot getting more done. Ohtani, during his MVP season last year, owned Tyler Anderson when Anderson was pitching for the Seattle Mariners, going 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 triples.
Ohtani hit a first pitch breaking ball off of Craig Kimbrell last night, and he was well out in front of it, but had a long enough bat and long enough swing to get a double in the gap. Tyler Anderson is going to show him a little deeper changeup, I'm sure, during this at bat.
Ohtani had those 2 hits, 2 of the 3 for the Angels in the game, and extended his hitting streak to 9 games, hitting close to 400 in that time. Ohtani lifts it foul, 1-1. Out of Oshu, Japan, which is not a part of the country where a bunch of baseball players come from. It's a 3-hour train ride from Tokyo, in the middle of rice fields, cattle farms, one of the coldest areas of the country, so they don't play a ton of baseball, relatively speaking, to a lot of the rest of the country. That's a bouncer foul, and it's 1-2. Shohei learned the game from his dad, who played for his company's team and would come home from long days at work, spend long hours playing catch with Shohei. Got him involved in organized baseball when he was 7 or 8. It wasn't until high school, though, that Shohei really took a loving of the sport, really started to take it seriously, realized how good he was, and at that point dumped what had been his favorite, that was swimming, and focused on baseball. Good choice.
Real good choice.
And a guy that now Mike Trout describes as baseball, sleep, baseball.
Play some video games also in between. But yeah, he has dedicated his whole life to baseball.
On another 1-2 from Anderson. He watches a change drop out of the zone, and the count evens up. And asleep. He gets 9 hours a night religiously.
Wow. That's why he doesn't wake up with pitcher's body and wants to play every day.
It's amazing. I mean, it's amazing just looking at one guy doing 2 things, but then you really think about the physical grind that goes into that. Tell me what you feel like the day after a start.
Well, you know, I usually played golf to try and get the lactic acid out and just do a lot of walking and just gentle movements before I came in to work out and do my weightlifting and my cardio. Yeah, I can't believe that he would go from pitching to all of a sudden could just take BP and go play and be a DH. He's got to be in tremendous shape in multiple ways, because it's all about angles and the different movements that you make, hitting, batting practice, running, stealing bases, and throwing off a mound compared to flat ground.
He's worked the count full with Trout at first, and on a 3-2 watches a perfectly placed fastball to ring him up. Anderson strikes out Ohtani. 2 gone.
The fastball has not had good location except for the first pitch of the game, and this one right here. He's below 50% as far as fastball command, but that one right there in the nick of time.
Anderson retires Ohtani for the first time in their 4 matchups. And with 2 gone, here's Matt Duffy. Duffy came off of the bench in last night's game. Starts at third today with no Rendon. Quietly is having a great year in his first for the Angels. Last 15 games, Duffy's hitting .375.
You can't rest when you're on the mound when the 3 resumes that face you in 1, 2, and 3 for the Angels, and then 4 through 9, the resumes aren't quite as impressive. And you really need to get these guys out. The top of the order, let's say they get 4 at bats. Those guys are probably going to get their hits, but you got to make sure there's no traffic when they get them. And so to make sure of that, you need to really concentrate and get the guys out you're supposed to get out. Sandy Koufax used to tell me that all the time. He goes, you got to get the guys out you're supposed to get out, because the good hitters, the Trouts, the Ohtanis, they're going to get their hits. You just want to make sure those other guys aren't on base or around them when they do. So that's the way you complete games. You don't pitch around those guys, you just get them out. Early in my career, I was kind of pitching around the 7th and 8th guys in the order to get to the pitcher back in the day when pitchers hit.
Way back when.
And he's like, you just should go after those guys. Just get them out. That's the way you're going to complete games. You're just turning the lineup over, and those good guys are going to come around again on you.
Duffy chases. That's the inning. Anderson pitches around the walk to Trout. Gets out the guy who should get out. Puts up a 0 in the top of the first.
Should Viagra really cost $90? We don't think so. RexMD.com has FDA-approved generic Viagra starting at just $2 per tablet. Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com?
This
was my first time using telemedicine, and I'd recommend this process to anyone. I couldn't be happier with the product.
Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a sample pack of generic Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. Visit RexMD.com.
The search for high-quality meat ends here. With ButcherBox, you get 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Sourced from partners who believe in doing things the right way. Together, we can make a difference, one meal at a time. Join ButcherBox now and get free bacon for the life of your membership.
At Boll & Branch, we don't make bedding like everyone else. We make it better. We prioritize thread quality, not thread count. We source the finest 100% organic cotton to make the softest, most luxurious fabrics on earth. We're free from toxins, the way home should be. Boll & Branch is made different, so you can sleep better at night. Experience the difference at bollandbranch.com.
May struggle early on in June, but Mookie Betts last night in his final at-bat, hitting his 17th home run, second only to Pete Alonso in the National League. Leads the majors in runs scored. And he's gotten 17 of them by hitting the ball into the seats. He'll lead things off for the Dodgers. Rest of the lineup looks like this, with Freddie Freeman batting second. Then Trey Turner and Will Smith. Muncy the 5-hitter tonight. Justin Turner DHs. Bellinger, Taylor, and Lux finish things up for Dave Roberts. Against Reid Detmers, 22-year-old rookie. Delivers his first pitch of the night. It's high and away for ball one. Detmers was the 10th overall pick of the draft in 2020. There was no minor league season in 2020, so he made his pro debut last year and got called up to the majors after 13 minor league games. A pop fly in right field, Wade or Ward. So Detmers comes up, starts 5 games, doesn't do well. It's got an ERA above 7, but to be expected when you've only got a handful of pro games under your belt at that point. Angels are out of the race, so get his feet wet, which they did. A rough start this season, so rough that mid-May, questions before the game, how much longer is Reid Detmers going to be here before he gets sent back down to AAA? You know, he's got a career ERA above 6 through 10 starts. That is ball one on Freddie Freeman. Now we'll see. He's working through some things. We'll see how it goes tonight against a good Tampa Bay lineup. Detmers goes out and throws a no-hitter. From a 6.33 career ERA to one of the most unlikely no-hitters ever thrown.
What a thrill. The last out, a ground ball to short. They got it done. 1 walk, only 2 Ks. And of course, he is still in development with this short pro career so far. But it definitely changes the narrative around you when you throw a no-hitter.
Right.
And your ERA is over 6. I'm sure it has given him a lot of confidence. He's still not striking out a lot of people. One of the keys for him, as we take a look at the pitches that he throws, is the very first pitch, getting ahead. The 1-0 count leads to a lot of walks. The 0-1 count leads to less walks. These Dodgers had a handful of walks last night, and that helped them an awful lot. It pushed across the run. Also the Mookie Betts solo shot. So Detmers not striking out a lot of guys, so he better not walk people and give them the free passes if he wants to be successful tonight.
And one of the issues for him, because the no-hitter was exceptional, obviously, but it's been up and down otherwise. One of the issues has been really long innings, and he issues a walk here to Freeman. So his last 2 outings, he didn't give up any runs against 2 great offenses, New York and Boston. But he couldn't complete 5 innings because he was averaging about 20 pitches an inning.
He's still trying to develop a pitch that can put people away and get a swing and miss. Noah Syndergaard had the same issue and does. A lot of balls put in play. They're looking for ground balls and staying away from the home run.
First base runner is out there as Trey Turner watches a curveball miss inside. Turner had the 27-game hitting streak end a little more than a week ago, and since then he's started a 7-game hitting streak, and so 34 of the last 35 he's gotten one.
Mr. Consistent.
Or an 8-game hitting streak, beg your pardon.
Trying to get more dangerous even in the midst of this streak. Trying to find the power stroke for doubles and home runs, and he is getting more dangerous. Those wheels are already there. Infield hit last night.
Freeman got a great jump and a high throw from Suzuki. Had no chance to get him.
It's one thing to understand a left-hander's move. It's one thing to get all the information. It's another thing to be brave enough to believe what you see. And Freddie believed what he saw. He was off right after the first movement. They must have something on the front shoulder, on the leg kick. Some body part was given away that he's going home.
So an early RBI chance for the Dodgers. A 2-0 to Trey Turner. In the dirt, good stop Suzuki.
The jump by Freddie Freeman was perfect. Short lead, really convincing him he's not going anywhere, and then on first movement he was gone.
Yeah, something's up when he's not getting a huge secondary lead. I know he's up to something.
That might not have been reading the move as much as just baiting him.
A 4-pitch walk, and they're at first and second.
Number 16, Will Smith.
Here's Will Smith. So the Dodgers just 6 runs over the last 4 games. And the biggest issue has been this, hitting with runners in scoring position. Won the game last night, even though they were 0 for 6 in those situations. And trying to snap what is right now an 0 for 19 with men in scoring position.
Patience could be the key right here. Only 3 strikes in those first 12 pitches.
Not close.
3 for 13 as far as getting it over the plate. And this could take some patience to pass the baton, but that has been one of the tools that the Dodgers used last night and in the past when they were really sequencing well as far as when they got their hits and when they got their walks. They were grouping them together, and that's where all the production has come from. Hasn't really been the long ball. They've been a powerful team, but not consistently powerful. They can put some innings together.
Freeman at second, Turner at first. That is 7 consecutive misses from Detmers. Who the Dodgers saw one time last season. His second career start came here. And gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. His 2-0.
That's a good pass at a fastball in a 2-0 count, even though he has thrown ball after ball. That is right in an area where Will Smith would want it, and he let it go.
On a 2-1, Smith watches strike 2. So 7 straight balls and then 2 strikes, but pretty middle.
Right. Yep, and one was off speed, one was the heater.
That ball is pummeled way back to left center. Gone. 3-run shot, Will Smith. Detmers was playing with fire.
Fastball down the middle at 2-0 count. Will Smith fouled back. A breaking ball that he kind of flinched on, but then he got another off-speed pitch up, and he didn't miss it.
Third baseman, number 13, Max
Eighth of the year for Will Smith. Third in his last 9 games. And the Dodgers have their first hit with a runner in scoring position since Saturday. Now it's Muncy, a curve for a strike. Maybe that breaks the dam for an offense that has scored just 6 runs in the last 4 games. Tied him up 0-2.
It'd be really nice tonight to not only score a lot of runs, but have the hits come up and down the lineup, so get some confidence going through everybody's bloodstream.
Detmers to Muncy with a 1-2. That's a line drive base hit in the center. 2-strike base hit for Muncy. 4th straight base runner for LA.
Walks and 2-strike hits. Both hitters with 2 strikes did not try to do too much. Those were nice rhythmic swings. That one just solid contact. Will Smith's home run was not some aggressive overswing.
And now word from the Home Depot.
Make your smartest play of the day and download the Home Depot mobile app. Our digital toolbox helps make your job easier, save time, and get more done.
So now it's Turner. Trying to keep the beat going. Back-to-back walks from Freeman and Trey Turner. Homer from Smith. Single from Muncy. And now Justin Turner, who watches a first pitch curve at 71.
Not an eephus, but definitely a slow curveball.
Cousin. Eephus is cousin.
Right.
Reid's dad was a minor league pitcher, reached the size AAA in the Cardinals system in the 1990s, and that was his pitch. He taught Reid how to throw that looping curveball. But coming out of the draft in 2020, graded out as the top breaking pitch in that draft.
Curveball is that big. A lot of times you want to pitch at the top of the strike zone with your fastball to have that illusion of which pitch is it. Now Clayton Kershaw had the big curveball and was a low fastball fastball pitcher.
Grounder through the right side, base hit Turner.
What really made Clayton's career take off, though, was to match the fastball up with his slider, and then he could be 2 pitchers at once. He could be a high fastball curveball pitcher, and he also could be the low fastball slider pitcher. Justin Turner looking for hits when people aren't in scoring position. He has been consistently clutch, but not consistent when those situations don't arise. He's looking for more hits like that.
5 straight base runners for the Dodgers, and here's Bellinger. Ball 1. Cody Bellinger, 6 of his last 46. By OPS plus, now finds himself 18% below the league average hitter. 100 is league average, and he sees at 82 at this point. MVP season was 167. And the point in looking at these numbers here is Cody Bellinger doesn't have to be 167. He doesn't have to be 67% better than the average hitter. With the defense that he plays, he can be a great player with an OPS plus of 100. He can be an average hitter and still be so valuable. But he's better than the 82. He's better than this 6 for 46 stretch. Two and two.
He's an impact player, and Angel action in the bullpen already. Cody Bellinger at the plate. He's a guy, Joe, you are so right. He does not have to carry the team with his bat. He's a foundational piece of the defense. He's an unbelievable base runner. Steal bags, and can get it done with the bat. Just trying to be consistent.
And even the year after the MVP season, when he didn't feel like himself, that was the 2020 year, he was above league average. That right there, I mean, that's still an all-star caliber player when you combine it with the defense. It's fouled into the glove, and he's out number 2. First strikeout of the game for Detmers. 2 gone in the first inning, and here's Chris Taylor. 8th man to bat for the Dodgers in this first. Detmers continues to fall behind 1-0. Taylor had a double last night. And each of his last 6 hits have gone for extra bases. One 1.
Seen some 2-strike hits this inning. Right here, this could be a juicy pitch. 2-1, maybe a fastball out over the plate.
Healthy cut, 2-2. Got a little more of the elevation on that one.
Yeah. And that is kind of an Achilles heel for Chris Taylor, because it kind of gets into a little bit of that buggy whip swing that he has. There's a slight hole there.
On a 2-2, Taylor cranks one in the air, center field. Trout's going back, track, wall, caught! Mike Trout takes it away. What a treat it is to be in this ballpark for these 2 games this week.
MVPs everywhere, so you got a chance when a ball's hit like this that one of them is going to do something special, and Mike Trout does that.
Retired MLB pitcher CC Sabathia is old school. His son Karsten Sabathia is new school. Karsten uses Win Reality for his hitter training, a state-of-the-art tool that utilizes VR to improve timing, pitch recognition, and confidence. A new school approach to more hits. Hitters love it.
I love it.
Pitchers, however.
Man, I'm glad I'm retired.
Train new school. Hit old school. Be ready for real. Win Reality.
Hey guys, Gronk here to talk to you about your hair game. Hims has a full lineup of clinically proven hair loss treatments, all prescribed online by a licensed medical provider and shipped directly to your door, if appropriate. Order today and get a 90-day money-back guarantee at forhims.com.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Dodgers have the early lead. If Dodger pitchers strike out 10, everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box for the purchase of a large drink at LA area restaurants. Single and a walk in the first inning, but no damage. And here's Jared Walsh. 1 ball, no strikes. Hey, by the way, they actually have issued a scoring change. Instead of a single and a walk in that first inning, it's an error. On Cody Bellinger. That collision. Drops down and hits him.
So the ball hits Mookie's glove, is in Mookie's glove all the way to the ground until he rolls over, and the error goes to Bellinger? Does he get an error for colliding with him?
It's interesting.
Yeah. I think that's going to get reviewed again, and I think that'd be a very tough error on Mookie Betts, and I don't understand how Bellinger can get it.
Our producer Mike Levy says maybe it should be PI.
It's possibly a team error. That's the way I've always been an advocate for.
Juan Lagares takes a strike.
When those pop-ups drop between 3 guys and nobody's lost it in the sun, they just can't decide who's going to catch it. I always thought that should be a team error.
Yeah. Oh, 0-2. Lagares signed by the Angels in early May, came up with some of their injury issues a couple weeks after that. This is his second time around with the team. He was with the Angels last year, too. Former New York Met, really slick fielder in his prime. Won a Gold Glove early on. Fly to center. This one's routine and an easy play for Cody Bellinger.
If he'd have dropped that one, it'd have been an error on Cody. Error on Mookie if he drops that.
Catcher number 24, Kurt Suzuki.
Dodgers 3, Angels nothing. Here's Kurt Suzuki. 38-year-old journeyman catcher. Wherever he goes, people rave about him. What kind of leader he is, what kind of just person he is. And he's been a heck of a player, too. Strike one.
You can't say enough about catchers that build chemistry and keep chemistry going, especially if you have a young staff. And the Angels staff has got some veterans, but it also has a few young guys. And you need a stable force back there when you're trying to build a pitching staff.
This is Japanese heritage tonight at Dodger Stadium, corresponding with Ohtani obviously coming with the Angels, but Kurt's father's parents were born in Japan. So some Japanese heritage for Kurt. He was born in Hawaii. Fouls it back, and it's 1-2. Sixteenth year in the majors. A lot of that with Oakland. Won a World Series with Washington and Minnesota and the Braves. Had a relationship with Perry Minasian going back to his time with the Braves. So Perry was intimately familiar with what kind of leader he is in the clubhouse. On a 1-2 pitch, he watches strike three. Right down the middle. Maybe the different look from Anderson. Had him locked up. Anderson gets his third strikeout.
Well, the sidearm fastball hit Walsh. This one gets him a strikeout.
Second baseman number 2, Rengifo.
2 away for Rengifo.
Tyler Anderson doing a much better job with the swing and miss changeup. We see the depth has returned to his changeup. compared to the last outing.
Well, a year ago, that changeup gave up 10 home runs and got misses on about a quarter of the swings against it. It's not giving up a single home run this year and gets misses on almost half the swings.
It actually is almost like a baby screwball. He's got that much depth and movement on it. It's not just the change of speed. He has tremendous action. Strikeouts tonight on 3 different pitchers, though: the four-seam fastball, the sinker, and the changeup.
Found the corner with the change there, and it's 0-2.
And that was the one that's a little up, and you see it just has a little tailing action to it. And now compare that one, remember that one, compared to the ones where he will get it down and you see the ball just kind of break like a screwball or a split finger and really have some depth.
Drops down. It's grounded to short. Trey Turner goes the short way and ends the inning. Hits the leadoff man, but no damage done, and it's 3-0, middle 2.
To the track, to the wall. He made the catch.
Catch your team.
Oh, what a play.
My team.
Lynch makes the catch.
Every team.
As good as it gets.
Only on MLB Network.
Where there's baseball,
One pitch away from baseball history.
there's drama.
He has thrown a no-hitter.
Where there's baseball,
Near the wall.
there's action.
He made a phenomenal catch.
And where there's baseball,
Let's go live inside the park.
there's MLB Tonight
On its way out of here.
On MLB Network.
Oh, wow.
where there's baseball all the time.
Unbelievable.
We've seen it time and time again.
Detmers missed with 7 straight pitches, and then back-to-back pitches was down the middle, and you're thinking, oh, he better figure it out quick. He didn't.
Yeah, at this level, with his professional experience, yes, the no-hitter, but he is still in development to get some swings and misses and put-aways, and I'm sure it is a huge challenge to be in this ballpark against this lineup.
Dodgers 3, Angels nothing. The 9-hitter Gavin Lux leads off the second for the Dodgers and takes a strike. 9-hitter, but you wouldn't know it watching over the last month. 400 in the month of June. You can go back even farther than that, but you can go back a full month. Lux is hitting 340. And an 0-1 from Detmers. He watches strike 2.
As surprising as you see Tony Gonsolin and Tyler Anderson leading the pitching staff, I don't know if it's surprising that Gavin Lux is doing this well, but it sure is a pleasant surprise after what he came through last year and how he has really developed. And it's starting to look like he will continue to be this person in the batter's box and in the field. Just like you have confidence that Tony Gonsolin can recreate what he is doing and Tyler Anderson can, I have the same confidence with Gavin Lux.
Take strike 3 called here. That's a situation where for the most part this year he's been exceptional with 2 strikes with that shorter swing, the line drive approach.
Number 50, Mookie Betts.
The 2022 Chevrolet MLB All-Star ballot is now open. Vote daily at MLB.com/vote to send your favorite Dodger players to the All-Star game right here at Dodger Stadium this summer, of course.
Send Mookie there, but an All-Star 5 consecutive times. Takes ball 1 from Detmers. Yeah, putting together a season that certainly warrants it. He's ahead 2-0. Two and one. Ball 3 on Betts. On a 3-1 pitch. He pulls it on the ground to short. Backhand stab Velasquez. 2 out. So it brings up Freddie Freeman, who walked his first time. Freddie, numbers lately haven't been good. He says he feels just a little bit off. Great over the first couple months, but since the calendar turned to June, he's chased more. When he's swung at pitches in the zone, he's made a lot less contact. And the thing that he's pointed to is once he's put it in play, it's not at all what he wants. The ground ball rate has gone way, way up for a line drive hitter that every now and then will turn on it, lift it. One thing he doesn't want is those ground balls that have been the result of more than half of his batted balls this month. And he says it's all a result of just feeling a tick off. Quickly down 0-2. Checks his swing, ball 1.
And those ground balls are going into the teeth of the defense because they play him to pull on the ground and in the air to the opposite field. So he wants more balls over there where there's only 3 defenders, including 2 outfielders and a shortstop. He wants less on the other side. And so when he's hitting the ball in the air, his swing is right, and especially when he's hitting the ball in the air to the left center gap. A lot of those ground balls are rollover, just weak ground balls into the 3 infielders.
On a 1-2 from Detmers, he fouls it off. We'll do it again. We know one of the reasons that he wanted to come play for the Dodgers was to be close to family. Of course, have them be able to come watch his games. But the other benefit of that is that on the off day, he got to go work in the cage with his dad, who knows his swing better than anybody. Waits on this and golfs it foul.
Yes, he was a little out in front, but boy, that ball was inside, and when he dropped the head of the bat on, boy, he hit it a long way. You don't sit where he just hit that foul ball and expect to get a souvenir.
Yeah. You're not bringing your glove when you sit there.
No, you're not.
I mean, maybe you are, but you're not figuring you're going to put it to use.
Well, the fact that he's hitting the curveball well foul to the right side and the fastball over the Dodger dugout, the timing is just not quite there.
Down swinging here. Couple Ks in the inning for Reid Detmers. After 2, it's 3-0.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Every time he steps up to the plate,
goes into his windup, or runs one down.
He caught it! Oh, you won't see a better one than that!
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Top of the third inning. Tyler Anderson goes back to the mound, and Clayton Kershaw throws on the headset for us. Hi, Clayton.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, it was nice to have you back this weekend. Fun to be back out there?
Yeah, that was a long time. It was good to get back out there. Not a great series up there, but it was good to get back out there at least. And boys are looking good tonight, so it's good.
How about these two guys we've seen in this series? Tony Gonsolin, the Catman last night. Tyler Anderson here. These guys were they're in tandem, the fifth starter to start the year. One of them's 8-0, one of them's trying to get to 8-0.
I know, man. Tony looked awesome. He just continues to impress. He really does. Saw some punchies with some fastballs last night, which I thought was great. And his off-speed stuff's unbelievable. And then with TA, what he's doing with his changeup right now, his changeup's been like his bread and butter. And you know, you saw some 92s, 93s out of him tonight. Maybe Ohtani and Trout fired him up. I don't know, but he looks pretty good.
It's Andrew Velasquez leading off this third inning for the Angels.
There it is.
Ready.
That's nice. He tried to teach me how to do that, and I think I've tried to learn 15 changeups this year alone, and I still can't do it, but that's nasty.
His didn't work for you?
I didn't give it much try. I tried it like 3 throws and didn't like it.
Oh, boy.
Whose has been where have you gotten the closest to saying, I got one, this works for me?
Well, you know, the thing about TA that he does so well is he backspins the ball. So his, you know, he really, his four-seam fastball, he really backspins it well, and it's get the true rise of the fastball. And so that's kind of how I try to throw my fastball. So I thought, well, I could maybe try to learn his changeup, and he kind of holds it like, puts his 2 fingers. I don't know if you can see me. He holds it like with these 2 fingers.
Yeah.
And
we got you.
There it is. Changeup out. It's so nice. But I can't do it. I don't know. Maybe I need to try harder, but TA seems to have it working really well right now.
Next one's coming up Saturday for you? Is that the plan?
No, I'm pitching Friday. Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Never pitched against the Guardians. I've pitched against the Indians, but never the Guardians.
Hey, first time for everything.
First time.
August 8th, Clayton, Ping Pong for a Purpose is coming back. Been a few years. This is it's returning, huh?
Yeah, we're excited. We, you know, it's just such a great event. We get to raise some great money for Kershaw's Challenge, and I think people have a great time with it. Oral, you like it? You guys have a good time with it? And
really good time.
It's going to be a ton of fun. We're excited to get it going again, and yeah, we're just excited about it.
Your favorite sport other than baseball?
I think so. I think it might be, you know, you don't have to run like tennis or pickleball. But I tell you what, pickleball is growing on me. I like that one. But yeah, ping pong's awesome. I played it since high school. And, you know, all the other charity events, there's a lot of golf tournaments out there. There's a lot of different things. And we just thought ping pong would be kind of unique. And it's turned into a great event.
I know you and Ellen work really hard on it. Can you tell us any of the celebrities that might be there?
We're working on that, Oral. We'll make sure to get some good ones for you. No, but we're going to have a great turnout.
All right.
You know, I'm trying to maybe recruit some old Dodger players. Maybe see if Dre or Kemper or some guys can come back. Maybe even AJ. I'll throw AJ an invite out there and see if they can make it back out for it. That'd be fun.
They like being called old?
Well, they are old.
There we go.
Right, let them know. There's a chopper to third.
Another changeup out. So nice.
It's like stealing.
It's so easy. It's like he's not even trying out there.
Couple ground outs. Hey, we're putting it up on the screen. KershawsChallenge.com. Any other info that we can help pass along where folks can go?
Yeah, KershawsChallenge.com is the place, and we have some great beneficiaries here in LA. The Dream Center is one of them, but we help people, in Dallas, Dominican Republic, Zambia, have a ton of different beneficiaries that we help out, all geared towards just helping kids that need it. So it's a great cause, and at least we think so, and raise some good money for some kiddos that need it.
Yeah, great cause. KershawsChallenge.com. Here's Trout with 2 gone in the 3rd. This guy's pretty good at baseball, right?
Yeah, man, we were almost up 6-0 if he couldn't have those hops up there in center field. Man, that was impressive. Every time you play him, you don't realize, you forget how big he is. He is so big. Looks like a linebacker up there. But he just dropped down on him right there, too. That was nice. I like that.
Who's bigger, though, Trout or the guy on deck?
Yeah, Ohtani's big, and I think ever since his rehab, he got super strong, and he looks like he's pretty put together too. I don't know. I think Trout might be a little wider for sure.
Yeah. Drop down again. Did he get him? Did he go? No.
You mentioned that Tyler Anderson hit 93, 94. Maybe these 2 next hitters got it out of him. Do you feel that sometimes when certain guys walk to the plate?
I don't know if you do feel it, but you look up there and sometimes there's a little tick extra when there's some really superstar hitters up there. So sometimes your body just kind of knows you got to kick it in.
1-2 to Trout.
Change up out. Unbelievable.
Yep. Hey, how about this, Clayton? Opponents are 8 for 76 against that pitch this year.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
Pretty good. You should try that sometime. One of those change-up things.
Next time, for sure.
Hey, KershawsChallenge.com, August 8th, ping pong for a purpose. Clayton, we appreciate everything you do.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, stop like service.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network. Join Kevin Millard.
I'm just a dude that loves baseball.
And Steven Nelson.
I'm nervous as hell, man.
On a quest for legends worthy of the sacred prize.
You thought I lost my mind, but
it's unpredictable baseball coverage that will have you on the edge of your seat all season long.
So keep it locked here on MLB Network all day.
Swing into action and join the adventure on Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
Let's watch some baseball.
Dodgers up 3-0 and a home run from Will Smith. It's Trey Turner to start the bottom of the 3rd. He fouls off the first pitch from Reid Detmers. We didn't get a chance to ask Clayton how it makes him feel when guys say that their favorite pitcher growing up was him. Reid Detmers, 22 years old, grew up wanting to be like Clayton Kershaw. A lot of guys did. I know that that started to happen a few years ago where young players would come to town and say, yeah, Kershaw was my guy. How cool. I mean, it's like every other series now, there's somebody on the staff whose guy has always been Kershaw. High fly ball, back spinning to left. Back goes Lagares, turns and watches it go. Leadoff home run, Trey Turner, and on a couple home runs, it's 4-0.
The Will Smith swing, the Max Muncy swing, and now this swing by Trey Turner. Good balance, good rhythm, not over swinging, just doing enough to put it over the wall. That man is dangerous.
6 of those 8 home runs coming over the last 21 games. The first home run hitter of the night fouls off the first pitch here. Here is that home run from Will Smith. Is in the first inning, his 8th this season. Walsh has room. Hey, by the way, I want to pass along an update on Nate Tomlinson, the home plate umpire from last night. The broken bat from Mike Trout in the 9th inning that went through the mask and knocked Tomlinson out of the game. Nate's doing okay. He was replaced on the umpiring crew. Alan McKay has replaced him and is at third base tonight. This is, if you happen to miss it, just a really scary moment. As the bat went through the mask, Nate has a scratched cornea and a bruised retina, but figures to be back before too long. It's a strike on Muncy. And those sound like horrific injuries, but could have been worse.
It was very scary. It was great to first see him walk off the field, and now that report sounds good.
It's a foul ball, and it's 0-2.
Or as bad as it could have been.
Yeah. The first umpires way back in the day, I mean, we're talking way back in the early days of baseball, 1800s, were more like figureheads of the town that the team was in. They represented the clubs. They helped them enforce the rules and the decorum of each individual club. And they were like really highly regarded people in town. So they'd set them up in a comfy chair with a nice view of the field. They didn't really have to umpire anything. They got ovations after the games, like the teams would salute the umpires when the games finished, because there wasn't a whole lot for them to actually umpire. It's 1-2 on Muncy. It was when balls and strikes became a thing and judgment calls required somebody to put on the gear and make the tough calls. Plate ump, though, used to stay way back. Yeah, they got closer and closer, and they put on more and more equipment. At first, though, they'd stay way back. They didn't really have any equipment on. Even as catchers started to wear the catcher's gear, umpires are still a ways back. I'm good. But they started to have to get closer and closer. And there was one minor league umpire that showed up one time wearing full medieval night gear.
Oh, wow.
2-2 on Muncy. So, I mean, he had the full get up, and he had made some shin guards on his own. I don't know where he got the night gear. I don't even want to call it a costume. I think it was real metal. He didn't have anything to cover his hands, though, so he got some boxing gloves to cover up his hands. Muncy down swinging, 2 gone in the 3rd. Got shoes made of cast iron. Wasn't about to have those toes hurt. Not quite cast iron, but I'm sure should have helped protect him.
I hope it was a cool night. Can you imagine in Atlanta?
Jeez. How you doing, Blue?
97 with 80% humidity.
Yeah.
You bring me some water.
I can't drink it, though, because I got a metal helmet on. A strike on Turner.
A day game, the metal be so hot you burned.
But you'd be safe.
Yeah.
From the foul tips. It was a foul tip that led to umpire signals. Before guys wore gear, a foul tip hit the home plate umpire in the neck. He couldn't talk the rest of the game, and so he started using hand signals to call strikes and outs. And why you think that's the funniest thing you've ever heard, I don't know. Turner's arguing here. Home plate umpire Dan Bellino is saying that this was a foul tip and should be strike 3. Turner saying no. In fact, it hit me and I get first base.
Didn't touch the bat, and the way JT holds the bat, he actually is covering the knob with his finger.
Hit me in the hand, he said. Dave Roberts going to challenge us. Pass him out there to confirm.
There's a large percentage of big league hitters that only put 3 fingers of their bottom hand on the bat, and their pinky is kind of hanging off.
The Los Angeles Dodgers are challenging the foul tip, strike 3.
All right, let's listen. Something.
When JT is hit and then the bat kind of goes in towards his stomach, you can see that his pinky is over the barrel.
That's going to be hard to.
Right here. Now continue to let it roll. And now look right there before he gets into his stomach. You see that that's the pinky down there. There's a good 1/4 inch of skin, and the knob end of the bat is not exposed. That's where he got hit.
And again, the call on the field is that it's a foul tip and strike 3. Might be tough to have enough there to overturn that. Hand doesn't become part of the bat until there's a swing.
Yep.
And clearly no swing there.
After review, the call stands. It's a foul tip, strike 3. The Los Angeles Dodgers lose their challenge.
All right, they lose their challenge, but they get a run on the leadoff shot from Trey Turner.
It's me, the summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
So a few months ago, I realized I was losing my hair, and then I found Hims.
And a licensed healthcare provider prescribed me this new spray. The results have been amazing. I only wish I'd started sooner.
Like if you could start yesterday, do that. Regrow your hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Visit 4hims.com.
Nice. What? With the Game Time app, I pay 60% less than this guy. 60%? Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price. Download Game Time now. Nice shirt.
Dodgers have won 10 of the last 13 matchups in the Freeway Series. Back to the beginning of the 2020 campaign when they won all 6. And a 2-0 win last night. First of 4 matchups this season. The most played interleague series back to when it all began in '97. Franchises first met in an exhibition game in Palm Springs in 1962. It was the Angels spring training home at the time. It's the Angels' second year. Ohtani to lead off the 4th against Tyler Anderson. Strike 1. Worked full count his first time, struck out looking. Drops down, misses wide, 1-1.
He broke that out early in this game, and he's thrown it early and often. The sidearm pitches. Throwing the fastball from the land down under and the breaking ball. There's another fastball from that sidearm angle. That's more of a two-seamer that he's trying to run in on Ohtani, tie him up. Really easy to get that running action in on a lefty as a left-handed pitcher when you lower your arm angle.
Home with a 2-2. Ohtani swings and misses, and he's gotten him both times. That time he made him look a little bit silly.
Inside changeup. That's a pitch that Tom Glavine didn't invent, but really started to use at part of his career and mostly at the end of his career. You know, it's always been the part of the pitching Bible. Don't throw your off-speed pitches inside, because the hitters, even if they're out in front, they have enough swing to still hit them. But a lot of inside pitches that look straight like a changeup, people think are a fastball. They end up way out in front of them.
Yeah, you've touched on it a couple times, but the swing and miss is back on that changeup in a big way tonight.
Well, the changeup is now, they are 0 for 6 against it. So he's got 10 outs and 6 of them with the changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Duffy. Anderson rocks and fires. Duffy takes high, ball 3.
Overall, the changeup has been the highest used pitch, but not tonight. That's good fastballs in there.
Stroked on the line, center field. Bellinger goes back, makes the catch. Those long strides makes it look easy.
Come out to All-Star Saturday, July 16th at Dodger Stadium. Watch baseball's top young stars in the SiriusXM All-Star Futures Game. Then your favorite celebrities in the MGM Rewards All-Star Celebrity Softball Game, plus the MGM Rewards All-Star Extra Innings Concert. 1 ticket for all 3 great events. Go to allstargame.com for more information.
This guy here, Jared Walsh, went from being the last pick, the 39th round of the draft, to a big league all-star last year. He chops one past Anderson. Charging Trey Turner, finishes off a 1-2-3 fourth. Dodgers up 4-zip. Middle 4 in LA.
Hi, we're Warby Parker, and we're all about making vision care convenient. That's why we developed the Virtual Vision Test app. Use it to renew your expired glasses or contacts prescription from home with your phone in about 10 minutes. If everything looks good, a doctor will renew your prescription for $15. It's as easy as reading the eye chart at a doctor's office, except you're at home, on your phone, like you probably are right now. Download Virtual Vision Test today.
Yeah! Woo! With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts.
Seriously?
Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Life is about balance. If I get the proper amount of sleep, then I'm gonna be ready for whatever's to come. I use Oura Ring to always let me know everything that's going on with my body. The accuracy is what sets Oura apart. My sleep score is something that I'm always paying attention to. It's literally part of my morning routine. Always trying to make the most out of this thing we call life.
The 2022 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes. 8 lucky winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza, plus a teaching kit. Enter online at spectrumeducator.com for your chance to win.
Cody Bellinger to start the fourth for the Dodgers. They lead 4-0. Home run from Will Smith in the first and from Trey Turner in the third. Bellinger waits on a curve, yanks it foul. Struck out his first time. It's one of the 5 for Reid Detmers, who pitched one of the most unlikely no-hitters in baseball history. Right there with one that fell on this date in 1938 from Johnny Vandermeer. And it was unlikely because he had thrown one 4 days before that. It's 0-2 on Bellinger, and he remains the only guy to throw a no-hitter in back-to-back games. No-hit the Boston Braves June 11th, and then 4 days later he went into Ebbets Field. And the big headline of the day was, okay, yeah, of course he's coming in off the no-hitter, but it was the first night game in New York City history.
They couldn't see the ball.
That was it. The lights were bad. Bellinger down on strikes, 1 away. And he no-hits the Brooklyn Dodgers. Back-to-back no-hitters. But he was only the second most famous guy in the ballpark that night. The most famous guy was in the stands. Babe Ruth was there to watch the guy that had just thrown the no-hitter. And Dodger executives saw all the hoopla around the Babe, how excited people were to just simply be near him sitting in the stands. And so the next day they hired him. It's a ball on Chris Taylor. Hired him to basically be the first base coach, but more of like a publicity stunt. And they drew 200,000 more fans than they had the year before. They weren't very good in those days, but any way that they could get a few more people through the gates. And getting no hit by Johnny Vandermeer led to Babe Ruth being in the ballpark, which led to people coming to the ballpark more to see Babe after he got hired. There's 1-1 to Chris Taylor. 1-2. Taylor's first time flied to center, and off of the bat it sounded like it had a chance. Looked like it might have a chance. Mike Trout made a nice play though up against the wall.
It was a MVP type play, and it definitely was a home run until this man went up and put the leather on it. Chris Taylor ends up with 97 RBIs. He's got that man to blame that he didn't get 100.
On a 2-2 pitch, Taylor serves a breaker down the line, foul. Well, Mike Trout's #1 goal is to make the postseason, something he's not done since 2014. Win a World Series, of course, but his #1 personal goal is to win a Gold Glove. Now this spring, Joe Madden made some noise by telling reporters that he was considering playing Trout in right field before he talked to Trout about that. Mike didn't like that. Found it on social media. Full count on Taylor. But instead of handling it poorly, used it as a chance to sit down with Joe Madden with the front office and say, look, if you want me to be better, tell me what can I do to be better in center. They stressed how he could be better, especially on first step, getting better first step reads. Taylor takes the walk and a 1-out base runner for the Dodgers. And so far this year, that extra work that Trout put down on the defense, it's the best he's graded out defensively in years.
That catch on Chris Taylor's ball that would have been a home run is going to help his campaign.
Runner at first, one away for Gavin Lux as Kurt Suzuki takes a slow walk out there.
80 pitches, and this visit was instructed from the bench. A word from Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm's Season of Dreams sweepstakes could take you to the All-Star Game. Go to MLB.com/Season of Dreams to view official rules and to enter the Season of Dreams sweepstakes today.
3 walks for Detmers tonight, matches the season high. And it gets Lux up there with a runner on base.
Dodger offense tonight, walks and 2 strike hits. All 4 of their hits was 2 strikes.
Jimmy Herget was warming in the first inning as Detmers had to throw more than 30 pitches in that first. Dodgers brought 8 men to the plate. Only 2 base runners since.
Lee Tunnell, their bullpen coach, was just right there heading for the phone to tell Phil Nevin that he is ready. This will probably be his last hitter.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lux flies it to center field for Trout. Settles under it, makes the play. So that will do it for him. Here comes Phil Nevin, going to bring on the righty Jimmy Herget for Mookie Betts instead of allowing Detmers to face him for a 3rd time. It's another abbreviated outing for the rookie lefty. Dodgers 4, Angels nothing. Angels pen goes to work in the 4th.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning every night on MLB.tv.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stands. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone. 106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
To by Jack in the Box. Introducing the new $5.99 double bacon cheesy Jack combo at Jack in the Box. You can order on the Jack app today. And by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Dodgers got a 3-run homer in the first inning from Will Smith. They got a solo homer from Trey Turner in the fourth, or in the third. And here in the fourth, Jimmy Herget already into the game.
Herget trying to hold him right there. That is the Dodgers. Coming off a tough outing against the Mets where he only went a third of an inning. He's had 4 days rest with only 12 pitches under his belt in that outing, and it was a tough one with 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and he also walked a man.
On to face Betts. Fly to right, grounded to short. First pitch from Herget is at the knees for a strike.
With this arm angle, it's going to be hard to determine between the curveball and the slider, but to righties, he throws predominantly fastball curveball, and the slider he only throws about 5% of the time. The last one must be his sidearm curveball, a little bit more of a sweeper break. When the fastball tops out at about 91, it'll be 88 to 91.
What would we do without the computers?
93 right there, though.
Computer says Froggy.
Yeah. We talked about how Mike Trout and Ohtani and Clayton Kershaw admitted sometimes your body knows when one of the superstars is up at the plate. Well, we got one up at the plate. Maybe up the velocity a little bit with this side winding motion. There's a big leaguer that if he was pitching in Little League, his coach would be like, come on, get on top of the ball. But coach, I'm going to go to the big leagues with this delivery.
Backs up there. Count goes full on Betts. That 93, by the way, was his hardest thrown pitch of the year.
Thank you, computers.
That's right. This computer's name is Rick Krajewski. A payoff. Strike 3 call. Betts has had a couple not go his way in this series. Rarely do you see him show that much emotion on an umpire's call, but a bit of a cumulative effect these last couple days.
Using the old baseball stats only gives you part of the puzzle. But when we challenge ourselves using advanced tools and modern thinking, you'll see the bigger picture.
Challenge all things baseball with MLB Now, only on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stand. Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Resort and Spa. Good times. Less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
Be honest, you saw Karros do it, and you're like, I can do that.
Yeah, I was a little jealous.
Yeah.
A little jealous.
You guys are tied now. You and me should go do this thing after the game.
Oh, boy. Oh, wow.
On an all-new Backstage Dodgers. Oral gets in the spinny thing, and Joe spins it.
I hope you have to sign a waiver before you do that with your child.
Juan Lagares leads off the inning against Tyler Anderson and takes a strike. Angels still looking for their first base hit against Tyler Anderson. Remember, there was the ball to open the game where there was a collision with Betts and Bellinger. Initially ruled a hit, changed to an error. Angels have a walk and a batter reached on a hit by pitch. That's all. Sanderson's back to his ways from prior to the Chicago start.
Tyler Anderson's delivery is very unique. Some would describe it herky-jerky. Some would describe it with stops and starts. But he smooths it out at the very end when he gets the parts in the order that he wants.
Line drive left field, hangs up for Chris Taylor. One gone in the fifth. And a word from Morongo.
The Marketplace by Fabio Viviani, now open.
That changeup got that fly out. It's also gotten a lot of swings and misses. Actually has doubled the total of swings and misses he had in his last outing. Just 3-6 already tonight.
Suzuki took strike three called his first time. It was right down the middle, but Anderson had dropped down. It was like it just kind of locked everything up on him.
Hitters are trying to find your release point, and when you vary it, you can get them, because certain guys will go soft focus as they watch a pitcher step onto the rubber and then get ready to deliver the ball, get the sign, and they're in kind of a soft focus mode. But then as you start your delivery, they will go to a fine focus mode to the area where you normally release the ball from. And maybe he got caught. Too much focus on the low three-quarter delivery point compared to that drop down angle, and it just kind of blinked through it. It surprised him.
There's a curveball there to get strike two, just the third curve that he's thrown tonight. Is 1-2, drops down, and 2-2.
With the arm angle and where the ball ends up and the slight little slider break to it, you got to believe, didn't that cross the plate? I think it got a lot of the plate. Must have called it low.
Something.
Especially after Mookie got rung up in there.
Fouls this one back.
Mookie's called strike was a good ball inside, and it was breaking from a right-hander off of Mookie's body and never made it back to the plate. That one from a left-hander, complete opposite side. Here's Mookie's. And this just doesn't even make it back. It does after Suzuki moves his glove over the plate.
2-2. Pop fly. 2 up. 2 down.
Number 2, Luis Rengifo.
Dodgers 4, Angels nothing. Here's Luis Rengifo. Grounded to short his first time. Luis got caught up in early May and got off to a great start, but is now 2 for his last 28. It's kind of a microcosm of his career. Dave Roberts comes out of the dugout here and then stops. I don't know if he thought he saw something with Tyler Anderson there, some kind of grimace, or didn't like the way that he shrugged or shook something. But Anderson quickly had him turn around.
That's a little bit of stretching. Maybe got a little zinger. Zinger's kind of like when you kind of bump into a nerve with maybe one of your bones or something, and you just get a little tingle feeling, and it doesn't feel like an injury. It's kind of like when you hit your funny bone on the table or the chair, and you go, whoa, what was that? But all eyes on the bench with the coaching staff and Dave Roberts right now will be on Tyler Anderson to see if he starts doing something like that. That little finger stretch is to kind of stretch your forearm. And 3 balls in a row will not help dissipate the concern that you might have.
Three and one.
I was a pitching coach for a while, and if something like that happened to my pitcher, you start staring at the part that you're worried about. So definitely looking at his hand, his elbow, his shoulder on the left side.
He's come back to work the count full against Rengifo.
.72 pitches. His tops for the year is 101, an outing where he went 8 innings. Most of his starts, he's been somewhere in the 80s.
That first inning, the longest. Pretty darn efficient all year. Another 3-2 to Luis Rengifo. Strike 3 called at the top of the zone. Halfway home in this one, Tyler Anderson with 5 no-hit innings. He sits down Rengifo like a house by the side of the road. 4-zip to the bottom of the 5th.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Nothing's gonna stop us now. And nothing's gonna stop us.
See the future of baseball during MLB Network's 2022 Draft Combine, live from Petco Park.
Impressive tools. Tyler Anderson talking through whatever he was feeling there with Mark Pryor. 5 no-hit innings. What do you think?
He's got some tightness in his forearm. That's something to be concerned about, but it also can just be a little bit fatigue on this outing. You know, he also, you know, he backspins the fastball, but he kind of pronates the changeup where you're kind of turning your hand to the outside, not what feels normal where you're taking your thumb up. He's taking his thumb down when you're pronating and turning it. Sometimes it can get to you a little bit, you know, between that and grip pressure. And the muscle can start to spasm up a little bit. Got to loosen it up. You're always kind of pitching in some kind of little aches and pains every once in a while, or some irritation. Gets to a point where you actually have to show it on the mound and take care of it, but keep pitching.
One and two on Freeman. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for the Dodgers here in the 5th against Jimmy Herget. Replaced Reid Detmers last inning.
The most my forearm tightened up one time is I decided to experiment with a split finger fastball.
Oh, wow.
Struck out 7 guys in the game with it. But the next day and that night in bed, my arm was like, it was just kind of in spasm.
Oh,
and I'm like,
boy.
oh, I guess I didn't get that muscle in shape enough to throw about 15, 20 of those at game speed and strike those guys out. I think I'll back off on that one for a while, and I never brought it back out.
The old split finger muscle.
Yeah. Well, when you split your fingers that wide, it tightens up your forearm. You know, fingers together like a fastball and 4-seamer, 2-seamer. It doesn't tighten up your forearm. But you go to start splitting your fingers and holding a baseball and throwing it as hard as you can. Yeah, that forearm muscle gets a workout.
Another 2-2 and a 5 ball to left. Playable for Juan Lagares in the first out of the inning. Tyler Anderson's strikeout of Rengifo is his 5th of the game. 5 more and everybody gets a free jumbo jack tomorrow. There is nobody warming in the bullpen, so that's a good sign with whatever Anderson's dealing with physically.
That means it's something that he has dealt with in the past, and it's not a problem. And he can work it out and has worked it out in the past. That last pitch, that high changeup, after some fastballs that got fouled off in a 3-2 count, he wasn't looking for the one that really buries, just looking for a basic strike, and got it.
Trey Turner walked in, scored in the first inning on the Smith home run, and then hit a home run of his own. Grounded to short, Velasquez. 2 out. Smith 1 out of 2, and now with a hit in 9 of his last 10 games. A lot of power in there too. On ball, no strikes. Dodgers trying to keep pace with the Padres. Came in both atop the division. Padres yesterday scored 12 runs on 15 hits against the Cubs. Tonight, they have 19 runs on 21 hits against the Cubs. Cracked in the air, center field. Did Will Smith get another, or did Trout? It's Trout against the wall, making the grab. Couple near misses for the Dodgers tonight. The die in the glove of the MVP.
Enjoy the stars and enjoy the show. The MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard is coming to Hollywood, and it's up to you to decide who will walk from the red carpet to the starting lineup. With the Chevrolet 2022 MLB All-Star Ballot, go to MLB.com/vote and make your picks. The top of the leaderboard will advance to the finals to determine who will start July 19th. Vote now.
In the game, we check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Cotton candy. Everybody likes cotton candy.
Especially the dentist.
Right. Keeps them coming. Oh, yeah. Made by liquefying sugar, spinning it around, and making little webs of sugar. Cotton sugar. Cotton candy. Andrew Velasquez leads off the 6 for the Angels, and Tyler Anderson, who we've seen grabbing that forearm, flexing out his hand, saying he's okay. Pops out of his hand. First pitch, 1-0.
He needs a little cotton candy on his hand, a little stick, so it doesn't slip out. Rosin's a drying agent, but even after it dries, it can get a little sticky and tacky in your hand. But you almost have to grind it in, get rid of the grit of the rosin. The powder rosins are less of a drying agent and more of a sticky agent, but I don't know what type of rosin they're using back there on the mound, but he's not touching it. Looks like two guys have their own personal rosin bags back there with the two pitchers.
It's uniform across baseball now.
Yeah.
Rocks from Honduras.
Oh.
They make the rosin with.
So that's a foreign substance.
Yeah, quite literally.
I wasn't a big fan of the rock rosin.
Why not?
It just too gritty. You know, those are actually rocks in the rosin bag, and you got to break them up as you go to it, or you'll break them up at the beginning of the game and then hope the powder kind of shakes through. But I was a more fan of a different kind of rosin that was already broken up, not the powder form, but right in between, little bigger granules.
Chopper, Turner, 1 out. How about a word from Nissan?
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2022 Nissan Rogue.
Well, since Tyler Anderson hit Jared Walsh to open the second, he's retired 13 straight. Top of the order, their third look at him, Taylor Ward. Reached on what was ruled in the air to open the game. So the Angels still looking for their first hit. Strike one in front of a good changeup.
The guy is shutting you down like this, you do start seeing some ambush hitters at the beginning of a count, and that's what was attempted right there.
1-2.
Change up, fastball.
When his changeup is as good as it's been for a lot of this year, the fastball looks so much harder when you're just judging it by the swings.
Yep, and you get more foul balls. Usually if your changeup's not any good, that foul ball turns into a ball in play. A lot of times turns into a hit. That takes some real discipline to throw an up and in fastball as a lefty as you're dropping down. Think about how patient you have to be to get the ball over to that side of the plate.
Got him.
Still didn't get it where he wanted, but he got enough. And the arm angle, a little break on it, wrong side of the plate, but the right result.
Two gone, 6th inning on the 6th K of the game for Tyler Anderson. And here is Mike Trout, who drew the lone walk for the Angels.
Trout's body language right there told me he is fully engaged. Down by 4, 2 outs, nobody on. He's looking for that hit.
Fly to center field. No big deal for Cody Bellinger, and 6 no-hit innings for Tyler Anderson.
From inside jokes.
Hey, look, it's Mike Napafanakis.
To insiders' perspectives.
I like over 5.5 strikeouts on Walker Buehler.
Your best bet is the pregame spread. Served up only on MLB Network.
It is gone!
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup,
Swing and a miss!
or runs one down.
He caught it! Oh, you won't see a better one than that!
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Sure comes standard. And by Arco, quality top-tier gas for less. Now accepting credit cards. On a couple home runs, it's 4-0 Dodgers to the bottom of the 6th. Muncy to lead off. Jimmy Herget came into the game in the 4th inning. Got a piece of the bat, 1-1.
It's the portion of the game where the Dodger offense kind of wants to get greedy, where you want the length of the lineup to start feeling good about themselves. Start spreading some of the hits around to some of these other guys. Max got 1 on a 2-strike swing, a line drive up the middle.
Muncy goes up to get that ball, swats it on a line to center for Trout. One gone in the 6th. We go down to Kirsten.
Well, guys, start your weekend off with a bang on Friday when the Dodgers face the Guardians, and stay after the game to enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by UCLA Health. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan the QR code on your screen now.
All right, Kirsten. Guardians playing some good baseball as they come into Dodger Stadium for the first time in several years. They've won 12 of their last 15 games, find themselves within a couple games of first in the Central. 1-0 on Turner. Hey, so a big league first happened today in the Rangers-Astros game. The Astros threw 2 immaculate innings in the same game. That's 3 strikeouts on 9 pitches.
That's rare enough.
Right. And not only did they have 2 in the same game, it was against the same 3 hitters.
I knew the caveat.
Oh, man.
Like, oh, my.
Nathaniel Lau, Ezekiel Duran, Brad Miller.
Wow.
3 up, 3 down, 9 pitches, 3 Ks.
Twice.
Yeah. 2-2 on Turner.
That's just crazy. You sit back and think about it. You could see a dominant starter and a dominant closer maybe getting it done in the same game, but then to happen to the same 3 hitters.
Ooh, Velasquez. Got that thing at the last moment.
Used all that talent to catch a pop-up. The vision and then the curvature at the end. He's got it the whole way, but it was definitely dangerous. Some fingers helped the webbing there. A little deflection to the middle.
2 gone in the 6th for Bellinger. Well, there's still nobody warming in the Dodger bullpen. It's weird. He's still shaking out that arm, still stretching his hand.
It's definitely tight and definitely something he thinks he can get loose. And it's definitely in the belly of the muscle, because if it's anywhere other than that, he's just kind of fidgeting with everything.
A little tricep work.
I'm surprised he doesn't have the gun.
Yeah.
I would have that on the bench if I was in this generation. That's an awesome massager in between innings.
Get your massage gun, get your shake weight, go to town.
Stretching bands.
Two and two on Bellinger.
When I was doing that kind of maintenance, but I still wanted to pitch, I never did it around Tommy or Ron Peronowski or any of my teammates. I'd be back in the tunnel doing it. If they caught me doing it, I'd go, oh, I'm just fine. I was just touching something. It's no big deal. I don't think I'd be out there on the bench doing it.
You know, what's interesting is there's like a tiny chance that he'll have a chance to have the pitch count under control where he can go the whole distance.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's nobody warming, given how much he's showing they're pulling at his arm. And
it's got to be something that he deals with all the time.
Bellinger shoots one the other way. Good looking swing there for a 2-out base hit. His first hit of the series.
And we all play the game slightly hurt. It's just when you're injured that you don't play the game. And so it is not alarming to me to watch him do that. It's just different to see it being done within camera range.
Inning kept alive for Chris Taylor. Sanderson's thrown 87 pitches. The season high is 101. Career high is 109. He's got 9 outs to get. You can do the math on that.
He's trying to keep everything loose. The hips, the legs. Not a lot of privacy when you pitch that well.
I think we've seen him address just about every body part by now.
Yeah.
All over.
Just going through his own releases. Trigger point massage. Where you have pain or where you have discomfort is not always where the problem is. You've got to know your body. Think of that in the context of Ohtani and how much wear and tear he puts on his body after starting and then going back out and DHing the next day. We talked about it earlier, but I mean, the beginning of a pitcher's soreness in body happens.
Bellinger safe at second.
And he is safe initially, but as he goes by the bag, is he staying in contact with it? And the Angels will probably take a look at it. I'm not sure the glove is on him when he loses the contact, and then the foot's on, safe, gloves off, body's off, hands on. I think it's going to be just fine.
Our challenge is a safe call at second base.
This could be a good look.
Yep. Safe.
Yep. Glove comes off. They stay with the tag and hold it against his body and not bring it up like a swipe tag. Swipe tag is really should go by the wayside with the way the rules are and the challenges with the replays. Before the replays, and if the call on the field stood no matter what, the swipe tag works. You just beat the runner down to the front of the bag, and not a lot of times did, the tag would be missed. But if the ball beat the runner and the tag got down, the umpires called him out.
It's going to be Cody Bellinger's 7th stolen base of the season. He had 3 all of last year.
Well, to your point earlier that he doesn't need to be an MVP type hitter if he can just be a 100 hitter as far as OPS plus.
Yep, which is average.
And then with his defensive abilities.
The call stands. The runner is safe. The Los Angeles Angels lose their challenge.
So the stolen base has turned it into an RBI chance for Taylor, who flied to center his first time, walked his second, and he's ahead in the count 3-1. Dodgers are 3 in the first inning, 1 in the third tonight. Scored just 6 runs in their previous 4 games, so nice to see the offense getting going a little bit here. On 3-1, Taylor swings through it. Apparently it was 3-2. And that is strike 3. Play the music, Francisco. 4-0 to the 7th.
We asked retired MLB pitcher CC Sabathia to hit and win reality.
You get nervous? Yeah.
A VR training tool for hitters. Who is he hitting against?
Oh, here we go.
Himself.
Man, I'm good. Both of me.
Hitters see game speed pitches, improved timing, pitch recognition, and confidence in the real game.
How many MLB home runs did you have? More than you.
Be ready for real. Win reality.
Want to know what other guys are saying about RexMD.com?
This was my first time using telemedicine, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
The total experience was amazing.
I couldn't be happier with the product.
Here's how RexMD.com works. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, you can try a starter pack of generic Viagra, which are currently available to new customers. Your consultation is free. There's no copays, no doctor office visits, and your shipping is always free. RexMD.com is now offering starter packs of generic Viagra. Visit RexMD.com.
Hey, it's me, the summer breeze. I just flew back into town. Let's get outside. Much better.
Tyler Anderson, 6 innings, 6 Ks, no hits.
The depth on the changeup has returned. It only had like one outing that it was off a little bit, and the Angels have been out in front of it, and they've been swinging and missing. The fastball has also been well located.
So here he goes into the 7th inning. Shohei Ohtani grounds the first one that he sees to the shifted Trey Turner. Now you get some early contact like that, and this becomes a serious discussion. As his 88th pitch, season high is 101, career high is 109. The wrinkle to the whole thing is that he's looked to be in some discomfort for a lot of the night. But wow, one pitch, one out.
There is no way that the tightness or the things that he works on in between innings that we have caught on camera is new tonight. This is something that is natural and normal for him when he pitches.
A ball on Matt Duffy. Two and up. .32 years old in his 7th year in the major leagues. 4 of those seasons pitching at Coors Field, dealing with all that. A year in San Francisco, last year Pittsburgh and Seattle. A 1-year contract with the Dodgers. Piggybacked Tony Gonsolin to open the year. 5th day of the season, or 5th spot in the rotation at least. It's Gonsolin, and then it was Anderson. Those two guys have combined 15-0. A 2-1 pitch. Duffy takes ball 3.
He executed a strike pitch. He earned a strike call, but didn't get it.
Down the line, foul. And the count goes full. We saw last night Miles Mikolas of the St. Louis Cardinals throw 129 pitches trying to finish off a no-hitter. Gave up a hit with 2 gone in the 9th inning. 94th from Anderson is popped to right. Betts is there. 2 gone in the 7th.
Clayton Kershaw was nice enough to do an interview with us, and we promoted his ping pong challenge that's coming up in August. He also, during that inning, saw 3 ground outs on changeups, and he said, God, that's so easy. It looks so easy. Well, there is less stress to the changeup than there is sliders and fastballs and hammer curveballs, to the point where Tyler Anderson can tell Dave Roberts and Mark Pryor that I'm still fine.
93 would say so.
Yep. And there is effort on the changeup, and it is the same arm speed, but it's a different grip pressure, and it's a different effort level when it comes to recruiting the muscles in your body.
Little dribbler along first. Anderson's got it. Throws wildly. That's probably going to be an error on Anderson. Into scoring position goes Walsh. And it is an error. So the Angels still in search of their first hit.
It gets off the mound. He's got plenty of time to make the throw, plenty of lane to make the throw, and it just stays in his hand, and he hooks it, and it doesn't even come close.
Prior to the phone, Stern in the bullpen. Lagares to the plate. Anderson throws. Lagares. It's a grounder foul.
4 pitches away from his season high. And action in the bullpen.
Now Clayton Kershaw hurt for a lot of the year. Andrew Heaney down after a couple starts. Walker Buehler going to miss a big chunk of the season. Tyler Anderson and Tony Gonsolin leading the rotation. That's a grounder just fouled, and it's 0-2. 6 2/3, no hits against him. 6 more zeros put up. 34 of the last 36 innings that he's pitched have been scoreless.
There has been a little bit of traffic. Angels are 0 for 5 with men on tonight. So 5 times they've had at bats like this. And that's after a night like last night where they were 1 for 9 with men on.
Fly ball center field. Bellinger's there, and Tyler Anderson has pitched 7 no-hit innings.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Seriously? Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Hi. We're Warby Parker, and we're all about making vision care convenient. That's why we developed the Virtual Vision Test app. Use it to renew your expired glasses or contacts prescription from home with your phone in about 10 minutes. If everything looks good, a doctor will renew your prescription for $15. It's as easy as reading the eye chart at a doctor's office, except you're at home, on your phone, like you probably are right now. Download Virtual Vision Test today.
is one of only 3 American athletes to ever medal in both the Summer and Winter Olympic Games. Makes his first major league debut, road trip as a Dodger. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers presented by Cadillac this Sunday.
All right, Kirsten, to the bottom of the 7th inning here at Dodger Stadium. It's 4-0 game. Tyler Anderson has put up nothing but zeros tonight.
Throwing the ball exceptionally well. All the pitches going, changing arm angles, keeping the Los Angeles Angels off balance. And he does not show any worse for wear right now. It's like he doesn't want to come out of the game.
So 99 pitches, 2 shy of his season high, 10 high of his career high. Third pitcher of the game for the Angels is Austin Warren, who made his debut last season. Put up a 1.77 ERA out of the Angels bullpen. This year the number's not quite as good. 9-1-2 for the Dodgers. First one to Gavin Lux. Couldn't lay off. Strike 1. Well, the guy on the mound here in Austin Warren is listed at 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, probably generous. Didn't have any Division I offers. Didn't pitch until he was a sophomore in college. He was a middle infielder. Went to UNC Wilmington as a walk-on shortstop. His college club team needed somebody to pitch, and so he went and did that and started pitching for his actual college team the next year. Pitched better than anybody thought. Thought that he might get drafted. Angels shocked him, drafted him in the 6th round.
Most right-handed throwers that play in the big leagues, no matter what position, were a shortstop sometime in their life. But that's awfully late to start pitching. Guys that usually start that late are relievers. Very rarely would you find a starting pitcher that started that late.
Well, we're keeping an eye on that Dodger bullpen. Evan Phillips started to warm after the Angels got a base runner last inning. He has taken a seat. Lux sends one in the air to left, sending Lagares back with room. Now, a word from Ford.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard.
See Phillips kind of wandering to the back of the bullpen there. Steven Salati, the bullpen catcher. Everybody just hanging out. Ball 1 on Betts. And then there's Tyler Anderson.
If somebody was going to get back up, usually Josh Bard, the bullpen coach, leads the parade towards the mound and ends up behind the reliever. So a reliever or anybody in the pen walking around just to kind of stay loose. Usually, in earnest, it'll be Josh that would lead it.
Here's the 1-2 from Warren to Betts. It's popped back and out of play. Tyler Anderson typically when he goes back in the Dodger dugout goes on the far side. So there's been no crossing of the pass with Dave Roberts. Bouncing ball is short. Velasquez attacks and gets bats.
Celebrate Father's Day at Dodger Stadium on Sunday when the Dodgers close out the Guardian Series. Be one of the first 40,000 fans in attendance and receive a bucket hat courtesy of Security Benefit. Visit Dodgers.com/promotions or scan the QR code on your screen. Those last few words I try to lengthen so people can grab their phone quick and get to the QR code.
You're here for the people.
Yes.
And the codes. Freddie Freeman walked in the first inning, scored on Will Smith's 3-run homer. Dodgers got one more in the third on a solo shot from Trey Turner. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Dodgers. No runs on no hits for the Angels. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's an Angels team that through mid-May was the #1 offense in the American League. That has cratered over the last month. Last night they were shut out for the 4th time in June. Nothing through 7 here the night after. Warren to Freeman with a 1-2. All Braves teammates there catching up. Two and two.
For any team, it is a long game or a long series without offense. It is a long year without pitching. The Angels are just hoping that their offense can get going, and the Dodgers are hoping it's not going to happen tonight.
Flexes this one into left field. It'll dunk in front of Lagares for a 2-out base hit.
He hit one on the barrel the last at bat and flew out to left. That one he hit inside the label by the hands, and that one falls in. But they are both in the air, and he does want to get away from ground balls, and he wants the ball to go to that portion of the field more often than the other side.
How about another 2-strike hit? All 6 hits for the Dodgers tonight have come with 2 strikes. That includes a home run from this guy, Trey Turner. It was his 8th back in the 3rd. Out 1-1. Now for the Angels in the 8th inning, bottom 3rd of the order, that's Suzuki, Rengifo, Velasquez coming up. And then in the 9th, Ward, Trout, Ohtani.
And the massage continues.
Whatever it takes. On a 1-1 from Warren, Turner watches ball 2. It's always fascinating to wonder what's going through the mind of a pitcher, but fascinating in this day and age to wonder what's going through the mind of the manager. Dave Roberts has had to make some tough decisions through the years. He's shown a willingness to make those. Of course, Clayton Kershaw earlier this season taken out of a perfect game after 7 innings. That was his first start of the year. He's coming off the elbow injury. One that the players and even Dave Roberts and even Clayton Kershaw said Did they like it? No. Did they understand it completely? A 3-1 is smacked deep center. Trout makes the catch, twisting around. Not an easy play. Trout makes it. All right. Who's ready for the 8th? Tyler Anderson is.
So a few months ago, I realized I was losing my hair, and then I found Hims.
And a licensed healthcare provider prescribed me this new spray. The results have been amazing. I only wish I'd started sooner.
Like if you could start yesterday, do that. Regrow your hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Visit 4hims.com.
Taylor Ward popped it into right center field. Betts and Bellinger collided. The ball came out. It was initially ruled a base hit. We joked at the time that it doesn't really matter how they rule it because Ward was thrown out at second unless something develops. Well. Here we are to the 8th inning. That was overturned eventually and made into an error. 7 no-hit innings for Tyler Anderson, who was within 2 pitches of his season high. He's within 10 pitches of his career high, but he's out there to begin the 8th. Bottom third of the Angels lineup. Kurt Suzuki. Check swing, strike 1.
There have been 9 swings and misses. 7 with the changeup. Only 1 with the fastball and 1 with the slider. Changeup has carried him, but the fastball and slider have been there with him too. Dropping down like that, he's done it probably a dozen times or so. A little bit more to Ohtani, running it in on his hands.
His 1-1 pitch. A little bit high, ball 2. On a 2-1, Suzuki looks at ball 3. Evan Phillips begins to warm again.
He's almost up to full speed. I've been watching him out of the corner of my eye.
Just misses a leadoff walk.
Second baseman number 2 is Reid.
Inside, jamming him, not in the spot he wanted to get the swing, and thought he might have got a call.
Second walk drawn by the Angels. First one since the first inning when Trout took one. Leadoff man on. Here's Rengifo. Strike one. Max Stassi in the on-deck circle. Andrew Velasquez, the late-hitting shortstop, currently occupies that spot. So Anderson at 105 pitches now. Here's his 0-1. Pop up, short center. Lux is there. One gone in the 8th. And oh man, the weight on his shoulders here.
He was top stepping it right there, like we have reached. Tyler Anderson looking over, and Mark Pryor coming out. We're going to talk about. They are not going to talk about.
That's one of those things, right, where you're pitching, you're thinking, I don't need the. You're going to bring the traditional scouting report with the pinch hitter. Yeah. Don't get in my way right now.
Yeah. That was very interesting, but Tyler Anderson is control of the moment right now.
It's his world. We're all living in it at the moment, and Dave Roberts is letting that remain the case. I'm good.
I don't need a visit. I don't need any information.
Stassi pinch hitting. Strike one. Doesn't matter who the hitter is. Doesn't matter what their strengths are. I know what my strength is.
10 swings and misses now, and 8 of them with that changeup right there.
Here's his 0-1. A little bit low with a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tyler Anderson in his 12th game with the Dodgers. His 10th start. Signed him to a 1-year contract. Figuring he'd be solid. No way they could have envisioned this. 2-1. Looked at him as the ultimate floor raiser. The rotation was a little bit thin in terms of depth at the back end of it from what it had been compared to recent seasons, and you knew that you could plug him in there if you needed to. Knew that he could work in long relief if you wanted that as well. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Stassi. And yet here he is at 7-0 with a 2.73 ERA and 7 1/3 no-hit innings against the Angels.
Reputation of an innings eater, and he is eating innings at a very high level.
His 2-2. Pulled to short. Turner knocks it down, sticks with it, and gets the lead man. Wow.
Outstanding job trying to block the ball, does, and with his speed quickly gets to it and gets the force out. And because this ball's in the air past the mound, you've got to freeze as the runner. You can't be going. That ball could have been caught in the air, so you're not going to get a jump. And you're going to record the out at second easily.
Tyler Anderson with a new career high 111 pitches. His previous was 109. That was in 2018. And at this point, there's no turning back. Right?
You cat's got my tongue.
Oh, jeez. Back to the top of the order. Taylor Ward, his 4th time up there tonight. A changeup is in for strike 1. It's a pinch runner at first. Just a little bookkeeping note for you. Tyler Wade running for Stassi.
The whole pitching fraternity is rooting for him.
Popped up, out of play. Think of all the teammates he's had through the years, all the different stops that Tyler Anderson has made, all those guys rooting for him. From the Rockies to the Giants to the Pirates to the Mariners to several injuries where it looked like he might never get back. His 0-2.
There's a lot of people watching because it's the only game that's still on.
The 1-2 pitch. Taken high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two. Fouled off. 116 now. 7 pitches more than he's ever thrown in a major league game. And if he's going to finish this off, he's going to do it against Ward, Trout, Ohtani, Duffy, Walsh. It's all-star after all-star. Good hitter after good hitter.
Back in the day, the only time you were on a short rope is when you were pitching poorly. There's another short rope in this generation, and it's called a pitch count.
Another 2-2 to Taylor Ward. He struck him out. Tyler Anderson has pitched 8 no-hit innings.
Is changing, and so are the shows that talk about it. MLB Network's Off Base.
What's going on, everyone?
A modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It doesn't get much better than sitting around and talking baseball.
Only on MLB Network.
Join Kevin Millar.
I'm just a dude that loves baseball.
And Steven Nelson.
I'm nervous as hell, man.
On a quest for legends worthy of the sacred prize.
I thought I lost my mind, but
it's unpredictable baseball coverage that will have you on the edge of your seat all season long.
So keep it locked here on MLB Network all day.
Swing into action and join the adventure on Intentional Talk, only on MLB Network.
Let's watch some baseball.
For Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers. Nothing to talk about for these guys tonight, huh? Wow. Tyler Anderson is through 8 at 117 pitches, blowing by his season high by 18, by his career high by 9. And in the 9th inning, Trout, Ohtani, and Duffy await him. A couple changes for the Angels after pinch running. Tyler Wade is in the game at short. And on the mound, Jaime Barria. Smith, Muncy, and Turner. Will Smith produced our Volkswagen play of the game, a 3-run home run in the first inning.
High slider that he just put a solid swing on. Lots of 2-strike hits, and that was the biggest one.
Barria's first pitch is popped up. In foul ground at first. Suzuki, the catcher, makes the play. The Nissan calendar with an off day tomorrow. Then the Guardians come in for a 3-game series. Notice the different places you can watch those games. Apple TV exclusively on Friday, Fox on Saturday, right here on Sportsnet LA Sunday. And it's back to the road for a long trip through Cincinnati, Atlanta, and Denver. One gone in the 8th for Muncy. Strike one. High fly ball the other way. Lagares going back to the track. He's got room. 2 gone in the 8th. And you never like the guys to make outs, but it's sort of like, okay, let's move it along and get back to the main attraction. Now, Tyler Anderson, after 6 innings, was at 87 pitches. It looked like there was no way, given the way that Dave Roberts and the Dodgers have governed their starting pitchers, always with good reason. But Tyler Anderson, no turning back now, headed to the 9th at 116 pitches. Craig Kimbrell ready to go. Turner digs it out, flies it to center field. Trout's going back. He's got room. All righty. All righty. Fasten those seatbelts. Tyler Anderson on to the 9th inning. Looking for history.
Every game, every night, everything you need to see. Get all the highlights with the fastest hour on television. Quick Pitch, late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
Where there's baseball,
1 pitch away from baseball history.
there's drama.
He has thrown a no-hitter.
Where there's baseball,
Near the wall.
there's action.
He made a phenomenal catch.
And where there's baseball,
Let's go live inside the park.
there's MLB Tonight.
On MLB Network.
Where there's baseball, all the time.
Unbelievable.
We've seen it time and time again.
Tyler Anderson back to the mound for the 9th inning on a perfect night at Dodger Stadium.
Center field number 27, Mike Trout.
He has thrown the ball exceptionally well. He has had moments when the command has left him, but he has honed it back in. The changeup has been devastating. Swings and misses with it. The fastball has been very much a complimentary pitch, but he has been on his game all night.
Look who's there to greet him. Mike Trout swings and misses at a fastball, strike one. It would be the ultimate 9th inning of earning it. The 3-time MVP Trout, the reigning MVP Ohtani, the first 2 men up. The 0-1 pitch. Top of the zone and strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, fastball change, and Trout fouls it away.
120 pitches, and the last 3 have been located perfectly.
Drops down, misses wide, ball 1. The 1-2 to Mike Trout. He struck him out. He's 2 outs away.
A little bender, and then he bends it right in there. He was trying to jam him in close to his hands, got it to the inner half, and Trout wasn't expecting it. He was looking away probably for the changeup, got him locked up.
He gets 1 MVP. He gets ready to face another. Ohtani tonight has struck out twice. Tyler Anderson to Shohei Ohtani. That's a line drive to right. Betts won't get there. And Ohtani breaks up the no-hitter with 1 out in the 9th inning. He does it with a triple. 8 1/3 no-hit innings for Tyler Anderson. Ohtani breaks it up. What a performance from that man right there. Tyler Anderson, game of his life.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Seriously? Performances, too.
Oh, come on!
Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price.
Am I underdressed?
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Tyler Anderson tonight falls 2 outs shy of a no-hitter as Shohei Ohtani rips a triple into the right field corner.
They had pitched him in all night, and they were going away to change the sequence, which you have to do against great hitters. But the MVP extended his arms and still hooked it down the right field line out of Mookie Betts' reach.
That's his wife, Tatum. Oh, and your heart just breaks for him.
I got a tad misty up here. I mean, I wanted it bad for him. Dave Roberts letting him go out there and continue on. He's pitched some 699 innings in the big leagues.
Matt Duffy lines the ball into center field and breaks up the shutout as Kimbrel replaces Tyler Anderson. 8 1/3 against Anderson before they get their first hit. They get one on one pitch against Kimbrel, and it's 4-1.
We'll try and get the win in the book for Tyler Anderson and the Dodgers. He would be one game below 500 in his career. He has an ERA north of 4.4. But tonight, these were some of the best innings that he's pitched in his big league career.
Jared Walsh. Strike one. So you get over the heartbreak of Tyler Anderson losing the no-hitter, and it's like, okay. Kimbrel's now got to figure it out after last night. His somewhat shaky Dodger debut season continued, giving up 2 hits and a walk. Got out of the bases loaded jam to finish off the 2-0 game. But nothing's been easy for Craig. That's a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Walsh. Just one last thing, though. When he got Trout looking, it's like it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh. Man. 0-2 pitch. Got him. 2 gone in the ninth.
As Craig Kimbrel continues to find his legs and make adjustments, breaking balls like this is what he needs. He needs sharp pitches in the strike zone. He does not need his best movement wide. He needs it in the middle.
Number 16, Brandon Marsh.
Brandon Marsh to pinch hit for Juan Lagares. There goes Duffy from first. He'll take second with no throw on strike one on Marsh. Started last night's game, went 0 for 3. Off day tomorrow, and then a 3-game series with the Guardians beginning on Friday night. Zach Plesac, Clayton Kershaw on Friday. Cal Quantrill and Julio Urias Saturday. And then Shane Bieber, Cy Young Award winner, goes on Sunday. Dodgers yet to announce their plans. Two gone, 9th inning. Here's an 0-1. There is ball one.
Tony Gonsolin the stopper. Tyler Anderson continued the momentum tonight. Come out of San Francisco, get swept. And we're trying to sweep right back. And because of the 2 efforts from the starting pitchers, they have set the tone for this Angel series. Only 2 games, but it was a necessary good the Dodgers needed.
And you could say that about these 2 guys the whole year, right? A necessary good. Wow. Tyler Anderson on the verge of joining Tony Gonsolin at 8-0. 1-2.
He might join Tony Gonsolin in the All-Star game.
From piggybacking in the 5 spot in the rotation to piggybacking in the All-Star game.
They should.
Duffy at second, 2 gone. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Marsh. Kimbrel fires. Offense tonight came on homers. 3-run shot in the first inning by Will Smith and a solo shot in the 3rd from Trey Turner.
No matter how far they hit it, that man there was the story, though. Great to get the support, but boy, did he use it perfectly.
Another 2-2 from Craig Kimbrell. Count goes full. Angels trying to get the tying run to the plate. Kurt Suzuki waits on deck. Angels with 1 run on 5 hits in 2 games in this series. Here's a 3-2. Got him. That's it. Tyler Anderson, the star of this show. He takes a no-hitter into the 9th inning. Settles for an 8-0 start to this wonderful season for the first-year Dodger. And his squad sweeps this 2-game series from the Angels with a 4-1 win tonight.
Special night for number 31. Now 1 game under 500 in his career, but wow, what a special night tonight. So close to a no-hitter. 123 pitches, 78 strikes. Great job, young man.
Tony Gonsolin's got company in the 8-0 club. Tyler Anderson, Tony Gonsolin, both 8-0, leading the Dodgers in this 2022 season. Who would have thunk it? Who knows when you start a season what that journey's going to bring? What kind of story is going to write itself over the course of the summer? Dodgers tonight win at 4-1. They sweep the 2-game series, a night that we'll remember for a while around here